mass wedding.
Why the fuck was their wedding so lame?
I don't know.
I need to know more details, Rob. What are the details of this wedding?
Oh, damn, dude. You just got fucking smashed with the ball. I'm almost positive.
Sports
And he's
ball.
gonna score.
Nah, he's gonna get out. Oh, where the fuck was that throw? Interesting. Anyways, guys, what's up? It's the Internet Scholars Podcast here. We got the Rob, right? We got the Aaron. We got the Mike, and I don't know who this guy is just walking in here out of nowhere.
I'm over 9,000.
Oh, so relatively, that's like a really low power level. If you think of like Super Saiyan God levels now, Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, but we down here on like Krillin level.
We coming up in the Yamcha.
If this guy's
like,
over 9,000,
But are we like in the Yamcha era where Yamcha was still useful, or like
no, like when he just gets obliterated.
Oh, so we're talking Saiyan Saga.
if this guy's over 9,000,
So like he's not just over 9,000, he's over 9,000.
If this guy's over 9,000, we're just gonna call him Mr. Big Dick.
Mr. Big Dick.
Mr.
Can I substitute that in Mr. BD?
Mr. BD.
I'm just gonna call him Jake.
That sounds like venereal diseases. Never mind. I don't want that.
Only if it's
He's got the BD. You know,
Only if it's
he's got a kid.
only if it's BD Wong.
BD Wong?
Yeah.
The evil dude, the evil scientist in Jurassic
Really?
World. I mean, Jurassic Park, he's just a regular scientist, and then they said,
I was
"Hey,
about
the
to
World
say-
movies, he's evil now." He also played. Hugo. No, Strange.
Yeah, he plays Strange.
Strange in
Hugo
in Gotham.
Strange.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he's actually a pretty good actor.
He's alright.
He's over the top in the Jurassic Park movies. They're Jurassic World movies, but who's not? They're fun movies, but they're fine. But anyways, this is Jake, our buddy. He was here, and we decided, hey, here's a camera. Sit the fuck down.
Jake, the camera's over there. It's not down
Yeah,
here.
yeah. This is the screen you're looking at. Like rule one is
quit
look at the
watching
camera,
yourself.
not this. In
Just
fact,
do what
I
I
should
do.
probably
I just
I'm
watched
gonna-
the baseball
I'm
game.
gonna do that.
Just
So I look
So
like
that
I
way
have weird
Aaron
blanks.
can't look at himself.
Yeah,
Otherwise he'll stare at
The
himself all the time.
funniest thing is when we were recording Detroit, everything's on a delay. So instead of
Elgato
looking
has an
at the
automatic
game,
delay.
instead of looking at the game, Aaron's looking down here at
And doing
It's like,
this.
what?
1.2 second ago him.
But there's no delay with this. Because
Yeah,
there's
there's
no
no-
game
Oh,
capture,
delightful.
so
Delightful.
so he can just look at himself in live action. It's basically like looking in a mirror.
So we're doing it live.
Yeah.
We're doing it
do
live.
Doing it live.
So, Jake,
Darth
as
Vader style.
a great viewer of this podcast, I'm sure you know how we start every episode of the podcast, right?
Oh yeah, of course, 100%.
Yeah. So go ahead and launch the segment off.
I kind of a little bit. I forgot what you.
Oh,
start me off. I'll finish it.
All right. I hope. Yeah.
I've been here a month now.
Did you want to start off?
Let's start
You want to start it
Pick
off
someone to
there?
throw. Pick someone to throw
What's
to.
been up, yo?
No.
Yeah, that's the segment. We start off with what's been up, yo.
What's been up, yo?
Now it's where you tell us what's been up. What movies you've seen, what games you watched, anything interesting happened in your life? What's been up, yo?
Literally, what's been up with me? I bought an N64 for $40.
Fuck yeah.
That's been pretty tight.
What
There
games?
you
You
go.
got
Came with
GoldenEye?
18 games? No, but I have 2 copies of Perfect Dark.
All right,
Two
that's
copies of
good.
Perfect Dark. I got 2 copies of
Did
Super
you
Mario
ever play
64.
the Perfect Dark sequel for 360?
Was it like kind of okay dark?
It was like it was
substantially
it was
less
perfect-
better than
perfect
Perfect
light.
Dark. It was imperfect dark. To be quite fair.
It was a Xbox 360 launch game, so like
Oh.
it was fun to play because there was 5 other games you could play.
Yeah,
So,
it got seriously outclassed.
it was
very
definitely
fast.
no Perfect Dark.
No. You can't.
Did you get did you get Mario Kart 64 in there?
No, that's one of the only ones that I didn't get. But I do.
Pokemon Snap.
No, but that's at my mother's
Is
house.
it like modded or can you put the things in there?
No, it's an actual N64.
Okay, because
Actual
I still have my 64 and I have copies of both GoldenEye and Mario Kart.
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. Got
Majora's Mask.
it. No, but I have that.
Majora's Mask is
I have that in storage.
insuperior to Ocarina.
Mm,
Majora's
fight
Mask
me.
very good, but
Fight me about that. 'cause I'll
Ocarina is the
fight you.
childhood, bro.
Childhood, yes, but Majora's Mask is your actual.
What are your thoughts now
adolescence.
that we're here? What are your thoughts on Breath of the Wild?
Outclassed, but a good try.
I think Breath of the Wild is an amazing game. It's just not very much of the Zelda game. Like it's
Well, my thing with Breath of the Wild is that it fails on all fronts when you compare it to the progenitors of its genres. Like if you compare it to old Zelda, it does not hold up. If you compare it to Skyrim, it will never hold up.
Yeah.
So you have to take it as its
It's that
own,
weird in between.
You have to take it as its own thing. It's the first step in a series that Nintendo's never done. So
It's-
I give them the pass.
It's a beautiful
on it.
game, though. Like, yeah, give them that.
They actually Todd Howard me. You can see that mountain. You can climb it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a fucking lie.
No.
That's
No.
actually a substantial
The
thing.
gameplay. I
Besides,
think
like that
is
one
great.
section in the back where it's like, I want to go over there, and then it's like, that's the end of the world.
I think
Yeah.
I think it lost. I think it suffered from the utter lack of driving narrative.
That was another thing. It tried to push a lot of,
Where-
hey, Link's got a voice, or Zelda's more important than just save me now.
Whereas
I feel like
and there was
it-
no actual substance to it.
They could have made that, but like those things could be done. Like if they would have actually had like Link speak, but it just felt weird to have all these other characters speaking, but not have Link speak.
And just him be a stoic warrior.
And then like Zelda is like, okay, cool, yes, she's a cool warrior princess, but you don't actually have her in the game.
Don't have
She's
her
just,
do
You just have
anything.
these flashbacks, and it's like, oh, all this cool stuff happened in the past, like between her and the other divine warriors. It's like, oh, I would have loved to see them in action.
actually
and
see
it's-
this. Give me some DLC, maybe prequel stuff, but
Instead, the DLC was like, here's
here's a motorbike
what you did
made out of
again.
skeletal horses. Like, hey, this
because
is
I
pretty
feel like
tight.
Skyrim had more of a driving, centralized story than
And even if
you can do free roam and still
Well, here's
have
the difference,
something
like,
to go
you
back
can
to.
you can
Like,
even argue
yeah.
that, but because like even if you argue the story sentiment, it still has gameplay elements that outclass Breath
Oh
of the
yeah,
Wild.
no,
And that's
well,
my
yeah.
thing is that like the exploration of it, fantastic. The collectability of it, sure, if you're into that.
Those
nine-
those
there's
shrines
900
were awesome.
The shrines were good. My thing was if the temples weren't 5 shrines stuck together and actually had
And the
some
boss fights weren't so easy as soon as you get one of the powers. You
Well,
beat
yeah.
one boss, then you can beat all the other
you
ones
could,
super
you
easily.
could beat
Yeah.
all the other ones, which was like I wanted some actual progression, but
Yeah.
they were going for the open world element. Understandable. First foray, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's overrated. It's held
I'd
too
probably
high.
I'd probably
but-
give it like an 8, just because it's something new for Nintendo.
and that's
it's
why
just-
I give them credit. It would be a high 7 for me.
I feel like once we get past it and we're looking back at it, it's going to be a staple because it will have been that first step. But I think they'll
Well, plus, I
definitely
mean, it just
improve-
sold so many
improve on it.
Switches, and I mean,
Yeah.
The second installment will be what you will expect it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What you were promised. And not
I
necessarily
can't
what
wait
was
for the
received.
first 2D Zelda we get on the Switch. That's what I'm waiting for.
Because
Because because basically all the 3DS teams are now also working on the Switch,
It's
so we're
also
gonna
working on the Switch.
get 2D Zeldas, 2D Mario's.
I saw
2D Metroid, maybe?
somebody is working on
Yes,
or
please.
wants to work on a remake of Legend of Zelda: The Second Link's Adventure.
But I believe that's the team working for the 3DS, because Nintendo still wants to make 3DS games for some
Oh.
reason.
See, I personally
Why
think-
is Luigi's Mansion not coming to Switch? That's what I want to know. Why are you
It was-
remaking? They're
wasn't-
remaking Luigi's Mansion
and not putting out
for 3DS. The original
Yes.
Luigi's Mansion.
That's a bad decision.
Really?
See, and I think Four Swords would be a good 2D Zelda game to
On the
throw.
Switch?
On the Switch?
And possibly so.
Oh yeah.
Everybody just
Anything on the Switch.
That would
Well,
be
Four
such
Swords,
an
even
easy-
though, because you could just buy another set of controllers, and there you go. You have 4 controllers that you need to play a
Oh,
Zelda
yeah.
game with.
But who wants to play
another
Joy-Con? Let's be real.
another series I want to see revived on the Switch, and I doubt it'll ever happen. I want to see Crystal Chronicles on the Switch.
Final Fantasy Crystal
Final
Chronicles?
Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
I want to
See,
see
I
Final Fantasy Tactics on the Switch.
that too.
The Tactics would be my jam. Yeah, if you
Tactics, bring back real Paper Mario.
Can give me
Yes.
Real Paper Mario. Thank Christ somebody actually said it. Just give me partners. Give me partners and a linear chapter-based story. That's all I want. Like
Great.
don't like Color Splash.
Was that the
Stickers-
Wii U one?
Yeah.
I never played. I played
It was-
Sticker Star.
It was much better than Sticker Star, but it was still the same thing, the same issues that you had with Sticker Star. It was just actually done right. But
And definitely don't do the Super Paper Mario thing, where it's like, hey, let's get rid of all the turn-based combat. Which is what this is about.
see, I can even deal with that. Just call it a different avenue of Paper Mario. Take it to its own direction.
Yeah.
Don't throw it as mainline. You
Yeah.
know, do some Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario kind of stuff with that. That go,
Did you
go that
get Paper
direction.
Mario for the 64?
No, but that is one.
If
of,
you want to borrow it, I will lend you my copy.
that is
Paper
one of
Mario.
my top games that I need to replay because I have.
That's one of my top games of all time.
Yes, but speaking on Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, does it hold up still?
I haven't played.
I say no.
I don't know. I played original Paper Mario more recently than Thousand Year Door. I've been waiting for him to bring Virtual Console over to Switch and play it on that. It's just the whole reason I haven't hooked up my GameCube to play it. But that's very disappointing to hear that doesn't hold up.
I to be honest with me, no, it doesn't hold up. There's a lot of different aspects like Chapter 2, Bogley Woods, horrible. Chapter 4, very boring if you've done it 6 times like I have. And none
Well, I
of
mean, it's
none of
also
the
a game that
sections-
compelled you to play it 6 times, so.
It is, but that's also a nostalgic kind
Yeah.
of childhood thing as well. But on a couple other playthroughs, I played it last year. Definitely doesn't hold up, but it's still prime material. Like you should base it off any other Paper Mario. Should be based off Thousand.
That or the original.
That is original, yeah.
I love the original.
Mhm.
The original is like just simple enough to still be compelling every time. It's like it doesn't drag at any point. So. A fun fact about the GameCube, which we brought up on this podcast, but I don't think you would know this fact. So you know the 3D Mario game that came out on GameCube, Sunshine?
Yeah.
Right? So my entire life until like about a year and a half ago, I always assumed Sunshine was a 2D Mario game, and I never realized that there was a sequel to Mario 64 that was basically just Mario 64 on GameCube until like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I just for some reason
Super Mario Sunshine is just.
I've never played Super Mario Sunshine. I've never seen anyone play
To me-
Super Mario
You've
Sunshine
never seen somebody play Super Mario Sunshine.
until about a year and a half ago.
The pinnacle is Super Mario Sunshine, in my opinion. I don't know. I haven't played Odyssey.
What?
Odyssey. You have
What?
a Switch and you haven't played Odyssey yet?
Well, I've got other games on my list.
How is Odyssey not on the top of that list, man? Odyssey is so good.
It's so good.
Like here's Zelda, right?
I don't
It's
even own
like,
the
like
Switch, but I know it's good.
7 or 8, right? All right.
Play it.
Odyssey, fucking 11. All right. It's just so fucking jolly the whole time.
It's literally Super Mario 64.
Except
Just-
it doesn't
just
kick you out of the
much,
level.
Much better.
It doesn't kick you out of the level. You get to keep playing the level once you get your star.
Oh, I got
It's
you.
awesome. There's so much. Oh, Odyssey's so good.
I don't know why you haven't bought it yet. You
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
It's the second best game on Switch.
I've been enjoying Hyrule Warriors.
Mario Rabbids, bro.
I was about to
Mario
bring that
Rabbids
up earlier with tactics.
so good, man.
It was pretty enjoyable.
The IP though.
I mean, the Rabbids, like, they don't like detract from the game. Like they're silly, and like the actual Rabbid characters are enjoyable. And the only like real other like Rabbidness is like the little side stuff which you see with them, and it's a very enjoyable game. It's and it like
Anything XCOM
yeah,
related.
it'll introduce people to like the XCOM style games, which I think is great.
I love that.
And XCOM on Switch, if it can run it, that'd be great.
Well, I mean, we have things like Doom. It runs like trash, but I mean,
That's-
at least it runs.
An XCOM that would run on Switch, good. That's what I want.
I mean, maybe docked in.
One day.
One day, probably not. but
So
one day.
besides the 64, anything else been up, yo?
Other than that, that's been my highlight of my week, pretty much.
All right. Good
And
highlight.
64, picked it up, 2 controllers, $40, 18 games.
It's not bad.
No, not at
That's
all.
a good steal.
Yeah, no.
That's your childhood food. $40 for your childhood.
And it was my sister too, so like my sister was like, "Hey, you want this?" I was like, "Yes."
Yes, I do.
I was like, "Yes,
I very
do.
much do.
Here's $40. I'll take that off your hands. Thank you. Swipe that right up here.
Do you have a TV that has the old cords, or do you have to get an adapter to
No, I
HDMI?
plugged it. I have a 50-inch TV with AV cable with connectors in the back, and it just fits
There
right
you
in.
go. There you go.
And it doesn't even stretch the picture. It letterboxes it in, and it looks perfect. Like if you can deal with cinematic sidebars, you're good. You know what I mean? The only problem
Once
is
we have a drunk Mario Kart night, that's what's
the
Yeah.
Mario Party. We need to get new controllers, but Mario Party, or stay away from one. That's the only thing. You don't want to fuck with one with fresh controllers. You'll end up with dead controllers immediately. I've been
and
slowly
like a
trying
hole in
to-
your hand.
Yeah, you look like Jesus Christ at the end, coming off the cross. The other thing that I've been trying to slowly make my way through is Persona 5, and that's
You haven't beat it yet?
it's something that I come to, and eventually I'll throw a couple hours in. My thing is it's just like
It's so good, but it's so much.
it's so slow paced
Yeah.
comparative to
yeah, like
4 and even
like once
3.
you're done with the dungeon, it just like kind of crawls into the next dungeon.
Crawls, and that's where I'm at right now. I just saved Futaba, and or at least cured her whatever her
So
Persona
you did
sickness.
the pyramid.
Yeah, I just
okay.
got done with the Sphinx fight, and now I'm slowly making my way through the rest of the month, and I just blitzed it at the very beginning, because I'm over-leveled, because I sit there for, like, days and days going into dungeons and shit.
Yep.
And so I did it in 3 days, and now I have the rest of August to just roll through, and I've been slowly doing that, and I'm just like, oh.
If you get connected to the characters, like, so I was like, oh man, I'm very invested in this time off, and then other times it's just like, I don't
Complete
care.
disconnect.
It's like, oh, I gotta go hang out with the politician guy I don't really care about, but I need to... They fucking robbed me of fucking platinum in that game. It's a whole thing.
Oh, that's... you
So
gotta play
I-
three
I played
playthroughs
through the whole
of this,
game, right?
Yeah.
I beat it, loved it, enjoyed it. Played through it again, and I was gonna be able to do
That's
everything.
like 300 hours easy.
I was
right
gonna do
there.
everything on my second playthrough. I got to the second to last dungeon.
Realize you missed a social link.
No, I realized that I missed out on the fucking politician because he goes away at the end. And since I had already maxed out his confidant level in the first time, I knew I only have to hang out with him a couple times to max it out again. So like I've been putting him off and then working through the people I hadn't already maxed out. Then he goes away,
Oh.
so I would have to do a whole nother playthrough to be able to
just
do it
get
again.
him
So
and then do it perfectly.
yeah.
Again. No, nope.
So-
Sorry, wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
no.
I know.
No, no.
I was so upset 'cause, like I put through time. I was like, okay, I really enjoy this game. When I really like a game, I want to get the platinum. Just be like, okay, I enjoyed the game. You owe this.
Yeah.
But then they fucked me, and I was like, no, I'm not doing a third time around.
Nope. No, wouldn't do it.
No.
If they somehow like have like a game of the year edition that adds other stuff, maybe I'll play it again, try platinum with them, but not.
I'd wait like 3 years and then play it again when your nostalgia starts creeping up on you.
Yeah.
That's what I would throw.
Hopefully, we don't have to wait so long between a Persona 4 and 5 as we do between 5 and 6.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
hopefully, like within like 5 years, they'll be like, hey, 6 is coming.
It's Atlas. You'll never get it within another decade. Sorry, it'll be 2025.
You
before
can
get
hope.
for-
Things are different. Nintendo makes good decisions now. Anything's possible.
And you
They
thought
make middling decisions.
and you thought you were gonna play Kingdom Hearts 3 before the end of 2018.
God damn it! That
Fucking Nomura. Yeah, it's coming between 2018. Month later, hey, January 2019. Fucker. All right, so Aaron, what's been up, yo?
Oh, you know, another week.
Another day, another
Another
dollar,
day,
dollar.
another dollar. I had an inmate the other day chase another inmate with a broom
Oh no!
around the kitchen.
Like a
Is this
broom
good-
side up or like stick side up?
Is this gonna
Big
be a
side up.
It's gonna be a reenactment of
The
13
other
Reasons Why. Please, let's
the
not.
other inmate had
Welcome to your tape.
the other inmate had a pan. So
wait, a pen
I mean,
or
a pan.
a
pan,
pan?
okay.
frying
Did you
pan.
start?
Had
Did
a-
you start?
As we
And I'm just standing there, and I got my one coworker holding, and she's just standing there. She's got this big smirk on her face. I'm like, all right, clearly this is not a real fight. And then
I
all
don't
of a
know, as we
sudden,
learned from Tangled,
then-
the frying pan is the ultimate weapon.
then
It's
all of a
vicious.
sudden, guy with broom starts charging, and I'm
Like-
like, oh, whoa, shit! Get on the radio. I need backup. I need backup. So
This
he,
guy's got a broom.
he went to jail.
It's got a broom and a frying pan.
That was my first incident with a broom this week.
Oh, the
there-
first incident with a broom.
There was a second
specifically.
one. There was an inmate that
You're on your phone.
he
Rob.
kept eyeballing me. All right, and he wouldn't do his job. He wouldn't go to the dish room and just wash dishes. And you know, the easiest way to deal with me as your officer is
Just jack him off.
Just give him a fistful of something lovely.
do your fucking job, and I'll leave you the fuck alone. All right, that's simple. Easy as that.
Do your job.
So-
Sometimes this is
Do
your
your
job.
job and I'll
Sometimes
leave you
it's your-
alone.
Do your job, and I'll leave you alone.
Do your job,
So-
the job, the job.
Sometimes it's a little
So-
bit of this.
He,
Sometimes it's
he didn't want to do his job.
Little
So
bit
I
of
you know,
Peter in his life.
So I went over to him. I'm like,
a
look,
little,
man,
a little bit.
you need to go back to the dish room and do your fucking job. Well, he decided he wanted to pick up a broomstick and eyeball me. So he's walking towards me with a
Hey,
broomstick,
he
and
wasn't
I'm
eyeballing you. He was
and
addressing
I'm-
you with his eyes.
I'm walking away. All right, I don't see this. Another inmate comes up, grabs the broom, and is like, "Yeah, I need that." So I walk into the office, and the girls I work with are like,
So you take him to the office.
the girls I work with are like,
AKA
Sizemore.
Pound Town.
They're like, Sizemore, you need to you should talk to this inmate, cause he's eyeballing you, like hardcore. I'm like, all right, I'll pull him aside. So I pull him aside, and I don't say to him what the girls think I'm gonna say to him. Like they're like, they think I'm really
Say
just
what you need to say.
pretty much.
Say what you need to say.
They think I'm just gonna look at him and be like, hey man, you know.
Do what you need
Just
to
just
say.
do what you gotta do. Like, do your job and I'll leave you the fuck alone. No, me being who I am, I look at this inmate who's in there for violent crimes. I look him in the eyes and say, hey man, I noticed you were eyeballing me. I know you're a fuckboy, but I ain't up on that gay shit.
Oh,
You can't be throwing that around in prison, Aaron.
yeah, Aaron.
So,
that, ooh.
so he looks at me, kind of his heart broken, and I'm like,
Oh.
if I see you continue to eyeball me, I'm gonna lock you up for attempting to establish a relationship on staff. So he walks away. One of the old black guys, he's been down since the '60s for murder.
Looking
The
like a
cannibal
guy
one?
on the box of rice.
He walks up to me and goes,
Ben's right.
Officer Sizemore, you're a douchebag. I like it. And walks away. I'm like, alright, that was a win.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Other than that, I went to Warped Tour. That was fun.
What was it like being the tallest 13-year-old girl? at
Look,
Warped Tour?
I won't even lie. When Simple Plan came on, I knew every fucking word. I was the happiest 13-year-old girl there. I had the wig on and fucking everything.
Did your dad
His
come
A cups were flapping. In the
Oh my god.
He
I
was,
was like,
he was doing the concert bop, and it was like smacking him in the face, like halfway. Yeah.
I decided about halfway through the show after I drank a pina colada
Duct tape these bitches down. I'm done with
that I
this.
was going to take my shirt off and just grab a Sharpie and write the words "free hugs" and send it to my girlfriend. So my girlfriend
and then go find the smallest 13-year-old and be like, hey.
You being a 25-year-old at Warped Tour with free hugs written on your naked chest was probably about the quickest way for you to get ejected.
So
from
Let's
that
be real, Rob. This was the final Warped Tour. There was not a soul under fucking 21 at that place.
No. There were like I went into it. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be a lot of like teenage girls. No, it was a lot of like 25 to 45-year-old men and their daughters who were also in their 20s by that
So
age.
it was basically The Incredibles 2 of
Yeah,
concerts.
it was like
Oh, yeah,
it was
nice.
like a massive just throwback. But mind you, I'm
It was
shirtless
a throwback to all the
small
small
things.
things.
So I'm standing there with my shirt off and the free hugs are written on it. 'Cause
Wait,
my-
you actually did this?
No.
Okay.
Fuck, man, you ruined the fucking you ruined the whole story. Because the whole
Well, here's the problem, Aaron. You've established yourself as someone who I would believe
I
would have done that.
really do
So I had to
this.
make sure.
Well, I was going into a story about how my girlfriend was like, any girl that touches you, give her my number. Which is something my girlfriend actually
Because
said.
she's into that.
So I was going to have our buddy Lee
But
text
that's
her from his
pedophilia, 'cause they're all
text her from his
13
number
girls.
and be like, hey
She's into that.
boy.
Hey,
But-
boy.
I mean, your girlfriend was pissed at you for touching other women's butts.
Yeah, oh man, she was pissed.
Yo,
because
were
I
you
touched-
sneaking taps on the wing?
No,
house? Like,
fuck,
what?
no.
Like,
fucking bitches were crowd surfing and I'm trying to film a Simple Plan, because I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. And
He's just a kid and everything's not fair.
Yeah, exactly.
stop.
Welcome to my life. And I have this video, and you can clearly see because I turned the phone as my hand is palming this
Because
girl's
he
ass.
was feeling
So
feeling like,
moving
wait,
it.
nice ass.
So listen, what you have to tell her is like, I'm sorry, I can't be perfect.
Yeah, I looked at as we're laying in bed last night. That's what I said to her.
That's it, I'm retired.
And after I say this, she just looks at me. She goes, "How could this happen to me?
I
made my mistakes."
How could this happen?
You knew what this was, Jake.
But
You
yeah,
knew what this was.
But yeah, no. Warped Tour
God damn.
was freaking awesome.
And there's never going to be another one ever.
No,
How many gallons of water did you not intend to drink?
I drank.
It was just
I
pina colada.
think
Just pina coladas and
I
a
think
hope
my
of small
end
children.
count was 2 liters of water, a pint of Miller Lite.
Classic. Gotta reduce all that quantity of water in your system. Diuretic that shit.
And about a
out.
pint of pina colada.
Ew.
So-
This doesn't seem
Was
like
it-
enough
was it-
liquids for an entire
was it
warp
actual?
tour.
Was it actual pina colada or was it like the shitty like syrup?
It was the freeze. It was like a Slurpee.
Oh, so
Do
the shitty
you-
syrup.
Do,
alright.
you also like getting caught in the rain?
I do lots
I'm not
of
into
cocaine.
health food.
What?
I said I'm not into
I'm
health
not
food.
down.
Shut up! I don't want to hear you. Shut up! It's another Simple Plan song.
Yeah, no, I know. You didn't have to explain that. Like,
But yeah, I got introduced to Less Than Jake. They were fucking awesome.
Oh, that's tight.
Luckily, no one here enjoys less than Jake.
They were, I
It was a
really.
pre-podcast
no,
joke.
Real-
I was making a joke about how they're on my like bands to see live bucket list.
Oh, they were
and you've
so
never
good.
gotten the chance to see them, you son of a.
And then and then me, who's never.
Crippling depression, Jake. That's what it is.
I offered to buy his ticket.
Yeah.
All I
All you had to do was
I
do your
drove
job, Rob.
I
All you
drove
had to
over here
do was
yesterday
do your
morning.
job, Rob. That's all you had to do.
I drove over here yesterday morning, put him in the front seat of my Ford Fiesta. I'm like, look, man,
It was
all you
uncomfortable.
gotta do is just, I'll buy you a ticket. You just gotta do your
Hold on.
job.
All you gotta do.
You gotta do your job.
All you gotta do
But
is do your job, Rob.
What's he doing with all the extra room? He only needs like what?
no, do your job. Do your job. But yeah, no. I got introduced to this band called D's Nuts, which was hysterical because I sent my girlfriend a photo of their backdrop for their set, and it just said D's nuts, and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I just sent her the word D's nuts.
Ha, got him.
And so, Mike, what's been up, yo?
Jack shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Stiff dicks and airplanes.
I've been working all week.
Living
I
that Walmart
haven't
life.
seen any fucking movies. Haven't really
Have you
watched any
canceled
TV.
MoviePass yet?
No, because like my charge went through like on the 31st. I was getting ready to cancel MoviePass, and then, like it just went through. So I'm like, all right, I'll give them a couple weeks to see if they'll like change their ways, like if they revert
I
back.
read up on a
But I'm
bunch
gonna
of,
cancel by the 21st if they don't.
I
fix
read
it.
up a bunch of the shit that they're doing, and we'll be lucky if I'm a subscriber past the end of my end of the month.
What's
Yeah,
the
I'm
skinny?
done with
They
that
just
shit.
ruined the
Well, for one, like Mission Impossible weekend, they made it to where like you couldn't watch like any movie the whole weekend.
You can't see any new movie
Yeah.
for the first 2
Now,
weeks now.
you're not allowed to see any new movie when it comes out.
Basically, surprise, surprise, they're running out of money because everybody's going and seeing free movies.
Every
And
day.
who would have thought that this business model wasn't sustainable?
I mean, it's working out for AMC. Their AMC's movie subscription is doing very well right now.
Yeah, but there's costs more. There are
Yes,
stipulations.
it should cost more than $10 They were
Yeah.
fucking stupid to make it $10.
It shouldn't be.
But yeah,
like,
also if you see a movie like on the weekend, there's surcharges upwards of like $10. So like the surcharge could be more than the price of the movie. Like remember last week you were asking about the surcharge? Yeah, it can be more than like it can be like $10 to see this.
So
Yeah.
It just like I
It
really
sucks
want.
now,
I
basically.
really want to go see the new Christopher Robin movie, but I have to wait 2 weeks and then see it on a Tuesday.
Oh, you know what I'm going to go see
To
next
even
week
get
with
the benefits out of
work
the
friends?
movie.
Yeah.
Slender Man.
Why?
Because that's the only thing coming out next week, and they were like, "Hey, let's
You
all
could
do
see Christopher
something."
Robin.
They won't roll
What
with
movie?
that. They're making a
A
Slender,
Slender Man movie.
Ugh.
And it's
Yeah.
going out in
Is it
theaters.
Yeah.
Is it based on the bullshit?
Is it-
with
is
the
it
two
just-
girls,
Yes.
or is it
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Is
So
it
that's-
just Jack Armstrong running around
Yep.
the street
Yep.
trying to pick up women?
Another
Like,
really obscure social reference, even
It-
for us who know who he is.
oh, I know, but still, shout out to Jack Armstrong. He's a good
He's
guy.
not watching this.
Yeah,
He's not.
He
he's
wouldn't
not
watch this.
watching.
He's probably drinking, but
Whew, boy.
What?
Pull out the big
You need
guns.
some milk, boy. Like,
the shade,
All right, write down the time code. Edit that.
shade.
What,
Sorry.
this is just like throwing money around. This
That's
isn't
like,
fucking
that's
shade.
like a trip to the brass flamingo right there. That's not a trip to the shade bin.
No,
You ain't creating no trees
You-
over here,
look,
Aaron.
Look,
You're
we
throwing
don't
nickels
we
and
don't
dimes. You're
we
hailing
don't
them.
reference strip clubs that also have cards.
And murderers on their doorstep.
No, we don't reference strip clubs that have fucking business cards for gonorrhea doctors
I just try not to
on
bring
their
up
front
strip
desk.
clubs.
All
I don't know
right,
about you.
I just don't go to strip clubs. That's,
I only frequent all black for strip clubs.
Yo, Atlanta must be
Like-
the shit for
like
you,
fucking-
dude.
I just-
Where the fuck's the shovel? Because
Yeah,
I don't know how he got a hold of it again. Did you leave half of your heart in Havana? Na na na.
Oh, please.
That's a club in Atlanta, so technically, you know, she could have been talking about that club the whole time.
Isn't
Because
that like a
she takes him
super
back
notable
to East Atlanta.
Yes.
But the only thing I've been doing this week is playing a shit ton of Octopath Traveler.
How is it? Because I've heard it's actually middling.
You got,
So good.
You got
Really?
Splatoon too?
No, I don't get Splatoon 2.
Oh,
Octopath Traveler.
Have
Um,
you played Bravely Default?
I played the first one. I didn't play Bravely second.
Comparing the two, how is it?
I prefer this.
You prefer that?
I mean,
Okay.
it's. I'm getting to the point now where like, it is repetitive-ish, but I actually enjoy the characters. I know some people didn't enjoy the characters, but I like the story of most of the characters, so like I find it enjoyable, and it's like just an old school RPG. It looks beautiful. I can't take that away.
I don't know if I like the aesthetic with the 2D characters and the 3D.
I like in the trailers I was iffy about it, but playing the game like
Playing
it
through
looks,
it's not. You get used to
Yep.
it. Yeah.
The like new things they've added to the battle system's cool. Like you get your break points, so basically like every turn you get like a boost point. You get an extra like so where you can attack twice or power up your magic spell or whatever, and you get one of those every turn. There's different weapon varieties, and each character has like their own job. But then you can also go to different shrines and like unlock
Change
secondary
Change
jobs.
their jobs.
So then you can give them a second job on top of the job they have.
Oh, that's cool.
See,
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of like job-based systems. I like the fact that Bravely Default pretty much took everything that old school Final Fantasy did, like random battles, job systems, da 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 da.
You don't like job systems, but you like tactics?
That's the thing, is tactics with the combat is much different.
Tactics-
See, I
I
think
enjoy the combat of tactics, but the
the
job
combat
system,
in this I think makes the job system work.
Tactics-
The job system is like integral to it.
Or tactics advanced?
Tactics Advanced.
Okay.
I played the shit out of Tactics Advanced.
I never beat it. I never beat it. I played through it the one time, put my heart and soul into that game, and then got save locked into the last fight way before I was ready for it.
Oh, that's the worst.
You weren't ready.
I wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready.
Yeah, if you like old school JRPGs, which I do.
See, my thing is, if I'd rather have an old school JRPG, I'd rather have it nuanced like Persona 4. Like, you know, if I want a traditional battle system, give me something that I can do interesting shit with. Like, there's been enough of auto attack, magic, summon system runs. It's like, you've done it like 6 times. Like,
I think it works good in this.
It can work. It's just like it's not.
I would
it's
say
not for
when
me.
you get a Switch, which you obviously will because you're a fucking Nintendo nerd.
I want a Switch. Yeah.
Once you eventually get one, because it's the fucking best system available ever.
Debatable.
No debate.
Debatable.
What's better?
In terms of just general quality and quantity,
Like I'm just saying,
Nintendo
like
DS.
like the I don't know. They're just the Switch. Like it's the first like game system where I've been just like impressed with the tech itself. Like when I first got the Switch, I was like, "This is just fucking cool," and I want to play it.
Did you ever own a Wii U?
I did not.
That's why.
Exactly.
That's exactly why. Because you didn't own a Wii U, you were impressed.
That's because the Wii U, I looked and I said, "That looks fucking stupid, cheap
Yeah,
plastic shit." I picked up the Switch. And like, this is beautiful. This is cool.
That's exactly why, because it was the Switch's beta test.
And I'm happy. I'm happy they're using the hard. I got so hyped when I saw the stuff for Mario Party coming to the Switch that they're actually using like the hardware in a smart way. You know what I mean? Because
like with the Wiimote and that kind of, it was very gimmicky and not nuanced at all. It's like, all right, yeah, you can use the Wiimote as a driving stick. Woo, you can swing it like a golf club. It all functions essentially the same. It doesn't matter if you swing it like this or you swing it like this, like a fucking cowboy.
You know what
it
does
still
change
works,
that?
huh?
The Joy-Cons on the Switch.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Fucking gyro. Like I don't know.
They actually work.
It's just such a cool piece of tech in general. That, like it's the first thing where I was like, if I can play a game on here, I want to play it on here.
And you can actually use them though correctly. Like, yeah, you could play like say Pikmin 3. You could use a Wiimote and you could actually use the controllers to function with it. But say on comparison to like Splatoon 2, aiming with the gyroscope is as natural as aiming with a control stick.
Oh, yeah.
It's nuanced to the point where it's not like, oh, I actually have to switch physically to play like this because it's so weird or it's not nuanced enough. They made it to it's actually where it's transitional, where it's good.
And plus, you never knew
Sorry,
that you wanted to play
Iwata,
like
you kinda
fucking this
sucked at
until you got the
Nintendo.
fucking Switch.
Yeah.
Like, oh, just
Yeah, you
chill.
can chill whatever you can do. See, I don't like the grip of the Joy-Cons, but I imagine with a controller is probably better. I have slippery, greasy, sweaty hands. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I get those like literally. I'll sit in a cold room and only my hands will sweat because I'm just that guy.
I mean, you can get skins for them.
Yeah, you get
too,
skins.
so,
You can get like custom made ones. So like put harder stuff on it.
Oh yeah, you can take the casing off of the whole thing and make it like diamond plated on the back, or not diamond.
But when you eventually get your Switch and these awesome controllers, pick up Octopath Traveler. Give it a try.
Octopath Traveler, yeah.
It's definitely a long game though too.
That's my
So
thing.
like
Is
30
that
hours
I got,
in.
Of course, I have Persona 5 to beat, and that's another. I'm 50 hours into that. I got another at least 100 to go.
Sure.
You know
I
what
mean, it depends how much. You got at least
I-
like
I
another
could-
like 30 or 40.
I try to get as much as I can the first playthrough, so it'll be another 100 hours,
Right.
and guaranteed. You know what I mean? And
Well,
then on
you
top
got 4 dungeons left. Maybe?
4 or 5. I think 5.
I guess 5. Have you been working your way through
Mementos.
Mementos?
Slowly, yeah. It's just like I haven't done a lot of that.
Okay,
recently.
because
That's a dungeon in and of itself.
do you mind if I spoil like the last dungeon a little bit? The last dungeon is at the end of Mementos. So by the end, you're gonna have to go through all of Mementos. So I guess that also
Anyways.
depends how much of Mementos you've gone through, how much time you have left. 'Cause,
And,
like there's a whole dungeon at the end, but
Yeah.
like you got to be
You
at the end
actually
of
go
Mementos
through
first. Yeah.
Mementos. Damn, that's a little extensive. So.
But I mean, if you've been working your way through, you can just warp to the very
Yeah, I
last thing.
have
And then
like
just,
literally when I have nothing better to do and I don't want to go talk to asshole A to get social link.
Well, I mean, ton of your side quests are just like go to Mementos. And
go to Mementos to defeat
fight
this
that
thing.
dude, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Another waste of time game though. Monster Hunter's coming out for PC.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I'm excited to get back into that deep delve again for the
I never
the
picked it
400th
up.
time.
I just
Well, you need to because it's good shit.
I try to stay away from any game that literally doesn't have an end. So no Monster Hunter, no Destiny, no no Division, none of that shit. Like,
There's technically an end to Monster Hunter, but I mean,
I enjoyed it right up until they started shoving optimization down my throat. Like, I was good when I
oh,
could do...
that'll
so
be
they,
any-
they shoved video games down your throat.
yeah, literally.
No, I just mean, like, I was having fun. It was like, there was a curve where I could play, you know, kind of me, that being my first foray really into
That Monster Hunter curved you, didn't it?
No, it does.
You
have
guys,
a
you
very
guys were
high
getting, you guys were getting
expert
close
curve.
together. Then all of a sudden, that Monster Hunter just curved you.
being able to play whatever stupid homebrew bullshit I wanted,
I thought it was a good joke.
and then all of a sudden the fucking curve just took a 90 degrees straight up, and I ran into that bitch,
Head first, yeah.
and then it was like
It's a slow crawl from
then
there.
it was like, Jake, Rockman, help me.
Yeah, no, it's a slow crawl for Monster Hunter. But
So
I've always
Monster
been,
Hunter rocked you like a hurricane.
All right, well, that's the end of the podcast. Listen, just
shut it down. Mike.
shut it down.
Just shut it down.
Yeah. Besides Octopath, nothing's been up with me. So, what's been up, yo?
Absolutely nothing.
That sucks.
Yeah, no, it's been a bad week.
Has it?
Yeah.
You want to let it out, vent out to the people?
No, I'm not.
Have you missed me?
No, I'm not.
Is that what it really is?
I'm not about-
Have you missed me coming over
I'm not
all
about-
over you every
Rob,
night?
Rob.
Every night?
Rob, it's not your fault.
I'm not about airing my
Rob?
depressive garbage. Can
Rob,
we
it's
move
not your
on?
fault.
So
It's not your
make-
fault,
Rob.
Make with the list.
Rob, it's not your fault.
Make with the
Rob.
list.
Rob, it's not your fault.
Make with the list.
It's okay to feel sad.
Yeah, sure.
Life's
Come
like
on,
a
Rob.
box of chocolate.
Rob, you can say it.
You never
I'm
quite
not okay.
No, I'm not.
Spill the juice down the
Oh.
hall. Please tell my
You gotta have more
The
confidence.
arms wide open.
Oh my god, can we please not hit the Creed note on
All
this
right,
one?
so time to go through the list of I didn't feel like organizing it, so we're just gonna go the way I wrote it. First up, the new Venom trailer came
Somebody's
out.
getting a call.
Looks
Oh.
excellent.
Is it over there?
It's probably you.
It's Aaron, yeah.
Can't check it because
That's weird because my analysis of the Venom trailer is that it sucks.
Really?
I haven't
Have you
seen it
compared
yet.
to the Shazam?
I'm not. I'm excited.
Wait,
for
wait,
Shazam.
you don't like the Shazam trailer?
No, I'm not a fan at all.
We just were like so hyped on that last
Oh
week,
my
man.
god, yeah.
It looks like
You
so
can't
much
tell
fun,
me- you
man.
can't tell
It
me-
looks like fun, but it also it looks like fun, but it also looks like the kind of fun that I don't want to have with the supervillain movie in this kind
It's a
of
superhero
context.
movie.
What a superhero I meant. Like in terms of all the bullshit.
Do you
they've
hate the
been
Marvel
pushing-
movies?
No.
It's a Marvel movie.
yeah, but
Shazam's a Marvel
You
movie.
can't. You
in
can't
all
tell
the
me.
in all the bullshit that they've been.
There's a
pushing.
reason why Shazam used to be called Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but clearly it's much better as Shazam, right?
I mean,
No, it's not. Captain Marvel
it's
is
a
much
better name.
No, it's
Listen, you can't tell me that kid. I know you look at me
Kid
and like,
Finette.
why so dark? You're crippled and an orphan. I've got everything. You can't tell me that didn't make you fucking laugh.
You can't tell me that when he was like, "Oh, I'm bulletproof. You're dead now." That didn't make you chuckle.
I mean, a little bit. Yeah, sure, but
See, Venom. To do a story with Venom, the first teaser trailer where they didn't show Venom at all, I was like, "Man, this looks like it's gonna suck." Then that first trailer came out. I was like, "Oh shit, this looks good." Then this trailer came out. I was like, I revert to my original
I
opinion.
still haven't seen the new trailer.
I've seen only like this very first beginning part of it.
No, you haven't seen the whole thing. It's
Not the whole thing.
There's like
but
a weird thing
the
where
last
like
trailer
Venom's
was like fucking tight, dude.
Venom's yeah the second trailer, the first
Yeah.
actual trailer, awesome. This new trailer, like there's a whole part where like Venom's like talking to this dude, like eats his head off. They try to like shove other symbiotes in there for no apparent reason. I don't like fucking Tom Hardy's voice he's going for in this. Like it's Eddie Brock's like kind of whiny just the whole time.
I can see that.
I still have hope for the movie. I think it's gonna be. And there's like a new poster, like the Japanese poster. Have you seen that?
no.
There's like Venom, like all Japanese, you know, like his tongue's coming out, like going under the things. It looks fucking sick.
That does-
sick
that
poster.
sounds
But the
sick.
trailer itself, I did not enjoy.
Nah, not a fan.
No.
We'll have to
I have
see
hope
when
for
it
the
comes
movie.
out.
I have
Yeah.
hope for the movie, but
I'll see it 100%. I'll see Shazam 2 as well. But I mean, like, it's kind of I'm going
Wait, they're
into
making
that.
a Shazam too?
yeah, man, that's how good
What
it is.
about the first one?
It's called Black Adam.
Yeah, the one with
Has The Rock.
the
Oh,
one,
okay.
the one with Shaquille O'Neal, right? Or is that the Sinbad?
Sinbad.
It was
Sinbad.
Sinbad. There is it. Yeah, that's what it was.
But that's just in your head. That movie was actually called.
Of course, it's the
Kazam.
Baron.
Kazam.
It's also the
Kazam.
Berenstain Bears.
It's Berenstein Bears. I don't care what fucking universe I'm in. It's always gonna be Berenstein to me.
It's always Berenstein,
We-
never
we-
Berenstain.
Berenstein.
We should do a review video. We should all go see Venom together and do a review video.
We
I'd be
should.
down.
I'm down.
We
When's
should
it
all
come
go
out?
see Christopher Robin.
Slightly less down. Not,
What?
Not a fan of Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie
know,
the
you're
Pooh.
about to get it.
Get
Winnie
the fuck
the-
out of
You're
here.
about.
I was
Rob,
born a
Rob,
Teletubbies kid. No,
your
I'm kidding.
thermometer's about
Okay.
to become a rectal thermometer.
Teletubbies gave me seizures when I was a child.
Teletubbies gave everybody nightmares. You ever see the sun? It's just like-
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Next up, so there's a little movie that we talk about a lot on this podcast in the past.
Yeah.
A little movie called Black Panther.
Woo!
We talk about it a lot because it made a shit ton of
Wakanda
money,
forever.
and it broke a lot of fucking records.
Not a fan.
All right, yeah, it's a
Not gonna
rectal
touch on
thermometer
that.
now, Rob.
Killmonger was overhyped.
Killmonger's the fucking Killmonger's fucking
Killmonger was
great.
overhyped. My
What?
favorite part about that
You
movie
know
was
what
that
the
he was.
problem was? You know what
my
your problem
favorite
was?
part of
You
it.
didn't see it opening weekend.
I
You
wanna
wouldn't have been
just-
overhyped if you would have seen
I
it.
just want to bookmark this point in the podcast where we're not getting to my game because you two are going to keep having a sweaty nerd battle.
The best part about that movie was that Killmonger wore Vegeta armor, and that's it.
That was fucking badass.
That's the best part of that.
Did you know Michael B. Jordan is going to be voicing a character on a mech anime that Rooster Teeth is making?
Yo, oh yeah.
Also, David Tennant's going to voice this character.
Yo, that's pretty fucking
It's called
sweet.
Genlock. I think it comes out later this year.
I
Pretty
mean, if they've improved since I've seen the very first season of Ruby, then I imagine it's
I
probably
haven't
much better.
been back, but I hear it's better.
Yeah,
I hear
okay,
it's better, but
good.
I don't.
I don't consider it anime, but
The-
I might as well, you know.
The ideas in Ruby were okay.
Solid,
The
but the
execution.
execution, yeah,
I think it got better after that. But Black Panther crossed 700 million domestically. That's what I'm talking about.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it
So
it
what
made
it-
more domestically than Infinity War
Does it hold? So it is in the top spot now.
for domestic. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
What about international? What is
not even
Avengers
close.
2? No?
Avengers 2 is like above 2 billion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, not even close.
Yeah. It's made a shit ton.
Well, domestically, I mean, still that's
No, it's really fucking good.
that's fantastic.
I mean, Infinity War 2 is at like 690 or something like that. So I mean, they're both up there.
yeah, no, Marvel's rolling in money.
Oh fuck yeah!
Marvel's rolling in fucking money.
And that's why they were able to fire James Gunn. Fuck them.
Yeah, no, that's
Dicks.
that's disappointing.
We went to the whole thing.
Yeah, we
That's
did. We did
super
a
Do,
whole
do you
thing.
want to give your opinions on it real quick? Just to,
James
we've already
Gunn?
said- yeah.
Mom mentalities need to be checked and
Yep,
simplified,
yep,
and
yep.
also if you actually are sincere in your apologies and you're not using it, given
And you grew. The fact
And
is,
you
it's
grew-
been 20 years. You've apologized. You've
I
grown
been
since
20.
then.
It's been
What the
10.
fuck ever. It's been long enough where it's like he's a
It-
different person.
if you can consider 5 years pretty much the limit of your stupid, if you say something stupid like an N-word, or you call somebody a racial slur or whatever, whoever, 5 years pass and you don't do that anymore, you've grown. That can't be held against you. It's like a I know this might trigger you, but it's like a felon who serves his time. As long as he's nonviolent, you deserve to be voted.
Yeah.
You deserve to have all your
yeah. Once
whatever.
you've done
Yeah,
your
once
time,
you-
it's
once
done.
you- do your time, you're done,
good.
man.
Yeah, you're good. You're back
You're
into
free.
society.
But
Go
plus,
for
the
it.
way I feel about it is like James Gunn's actions prove that he's not a fucking asshole.
He's not a
Why
fucking
would that
asshole.
trigger me?
It's
Shit, I don't know your conservative views.
an action
It could
speak
be
louder
not
than words.
conservative.
Based on that.
Well, you're a police officer.
That doesn't make
Hey.
me conservative.
Let's not.
He's a kind
I'm
of
a
cop.
corrections officer.
Everybody,
Kinda cop.
I'm a kind of cop.
Kinda
I
cop.
get
Fair
spray. That's it.
everybody, back down for a second and let's.
I'm
just
not conservative. Just because I own a gun doesn't make me
Just because he
conservative.
voted for Trump.
Isn't that the first?
I did
time,
not.
Isn't that the first time he's been okay with being called a kind of cop though?
As
No, listener, I'm a
long
kind
as
of
you
cop.
don't call me Shirley or Rent-A-Cop, we're fine. Paul Blart, off the
No, just don't call me guard. I hate being called guard.
What is that? What you're just called every day?
No, I'm correctional officer. I'm an officer.
All right, next
Correct
up,
them
if this will
with
fucking
a
load.
strict stream of
Consider-
pepper spray.
Consider this. Consider
I've never
this-
used force because I'm not a conservative.
The TSA handles. Consider this situation fucking handled.
We
I
are-
voted for Kane.
move along like we know we should. Speaking of James Gunn, he got fired for stupid shit.
Pour one out for one's homies.
Chris Hardwick also got fired for stupid shit that was basically like completely untrue.
Seriously.
What did he? What
Uh,
happened with Hardwick now?
There was-
Basically,
This
okay.
lady,
There
his
was this
ex
whole-
said
Oh,
he beat the shit
alright,
out of
you
him.
just
Well,
Fuck you.
no, it was that like he was like
he was sexually abusive.
manipulative uses
He
and shit.
expected sex every time he got home.
And then like he blacklisted her when they
Wheth-
broke up.
Whether
That's
or
what
not
the claim
she
was.
wanted it. He talked to his producer friends. He didn't make time for any of his normal friends. Basically, like he was just a giant
Dick.
fuckwad.
Yeah.
Apparently. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
And then like everyone else in Chris Hardwick's life, including all his other exes, were like, yeah, that's not Chris Hardwick.
yeah.
But so like he lost out on Talking Dead, and then he got fired from The Wall, his like game show on NBC.
They stripped him from Nerdist, dude. They removed him.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
So then last week we found out, okay, he's back on the host of Talking Dead, and he's like, okay, he's good. And this week NBC hired him back to the host of The Wall. So far so good. People are like, oh wait, that was bullshit. Maybe we shouldn't just believe everything one person
check
says.
the mob mentalities.
Exactly.
If somebody has some bullshit on them, okay, figure out if they're actually still knee deep in the bullshit.
We can't be having knee-jerk reactions to stuff like this going on when half of the population of the United States
Now on the flip side,
is not grab them by the pussy.
what about
and,
Roseanne Barr? How do you feel about her situation?
No, she got
On
what
the
she
opposite
deserved.
end, playing devil's advocate, how do you feel about Roseanne?
She,
I personally hate Roseanne and what she stood for.
I feel like she took it and did not take it with grace. James Gunn, Chris Hardwick, a lot of these other people have been thrown under the bus temporarily.
Is that the deciding factor on the mob mentality, though? Whether you go down gracefully or whether you actually were innocent?
She took it in a very caffeine.
But
now here's
but she did it. I mean, she did it. Whether or not it was on a public forum, okay. But the thing is, too, it's hard to let somebody apologize that when they go on ranting about how this was that bitch Hillary Clinton's fault or whatever she said.
Yeah.
Or that is not making her situation any better. So
the way I feel is like
It just
I don't
highlights
think
their
I don't think
situation.
it should have played out like that for her. I don't think she deserved to lose her whole show and everything. But her actions since then, like
Speak for
blaming
her
everything else
consequences,
and
yeah.
like throwing her other actors and shit under the bus and all these
Yeah.
people, I think she kind of deserved what she got from that. But the initial thing, I think, just making that tweet, it was a joke. It was a bad joke. But again, it was just a joke. I don't think we should have all jumped on her for that. It should have been like, hey, issue an apology, move on. But instead,
what are you saying?
Instead,
What are you
race.
Tweak the
Oh.
nips.
why didn't you just say
saying
that?
the
Why didn't you just say
race.
put the race on?
Put the race on. It's walking.
But no, as someone in the mid, like I'm,
Oh, you
I
sure?
actually like the Roseanne show.
That's
I don't like as a person. I'm not that big a fan of her, but I thought the show was actually pretty like
Yeah.
it like tackled issues from a right wing perspective, but like in
That
a
still
good
needed to
way.
be handled.
It was like one of the children on the show was he's not like gay, but like he would dress in like girly clothes and stuff, and like they like actually addressed that in a real way that you wouldn't expect a right wing show to do. And I think like having the other perspective was good. So I like that they're kind of bringing this show back, and I wish Roseanne could have still been involved, but she kind of dug her own grave.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
And
So,
it's completely different from the James Gunn scenario, where those jokes were from the past, where this was one that she made in the moment.
And hers wasn't a joke. He was just making provocative
I think it
statements.
was a joke at the time, but she's been trying to backtrack it.
Even still, I mean, like.
I don't
was
think
I think she knew exactly
I
what that
don't
person
think-
looked like and made that joke,
it was
knowing
a
that.
joke. It was a joke that fell flat. There was no.
The worst crime was it wasn't funny.
It was exactly.
Yeah.
It was a very. Dry
So I'll be honest, I looked at some of the
delivery.
James Gunn tweets and I chuckled at a couple of them.
Yeah.
I'll be real.
But again,
They're
the-
fucked up and wrong, but I mean,
the responses for being called out on it have only made what was already a pretty bad situation
just crack the ice
that
a
much
little bit.
more dismal. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So again, for me, it comes down to a matter of grace. Under fire.
Roseanne's never been known to be graceful.
Yeah, no, I know.
No, very nice.
So the Switch released their sales. The Switch is almost at 20 million.
That's good,
That's
right?
good. Yeah, that's good. That's
Okay.
good.
Alright,
There's- yeah.
That's vastly surpassed.
And
the Wii U.
they released their numbers that I'm going to throw out. Yeah, it's already passed the Wii U total sales in this year and a half. And they released their.
I think it was 7 million for the Wii U.
I thought it was like 9,
9.
like low 9s.
That's what I was
Not,
thinking.
not a lot.
No, substantially not.
They released their first party studio numbers of the games. Super Mario Odyssey, 11.17 million. Next up, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Man, that thing sells good. It's like always in the top 10 in the MPDs. 10.35 million.
Damn.
Breath of the Wild almost at 10 with 9.32 million. Splatoon 2 somehow selling 6.78.
So it deserves to be there. It needs to be more, actually.
It's a solid game.
I picked it up and I really enjoy it.
I don't think it's a $60 game is my problem with it. I think it doesn't have enough in it.
I'd rather it be like a Wii Shop game.
Yeah,
Like
if
a
it came in like a
fully-fledged, like $30
$40 game, something,
I'd
I
be
would.
$45
I
for
was gonna say,
Splatoon.
I could see 45.
I'd see 45. Even
Uh,
50 maybe.
1-2 Switch apparently had 2.45 million. That I really don't know how because that all sucks. ARMS solid 2.01.
know we've been crapping on ARMS historically
I mean,
on this podcast.
I'm fine with ARMS. It's not a game I want to play, but I think it's something cool for.
It's something interesting.
I
It's a new take.
did pick up the demo or download the demo, and I did have a good time through the duration.
So good that he has to be like cut it out of himself to be able to say he's like good.
Yeah,
good
no,
times.
it's decent.
Kirby Star Allies at
Oh.
1.89.
God, that game.
Which again is like better than any Kirby game selling. First off, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 at 1.42, underplayed.
I'm surprised that
Really?
isn't higher.
Really, that does surprise me.
Yeah, no.
1.42 is a fucking lot. Like, let's not understand this.
I mean, yeah,
But
that's
in comparison, I would have put that above Switch. I would have put that above
Yeah.
ARMS.
I mean, in quality, yes, but I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles is a niche market, where
In
Allies
America,
and ARMS
yeah.
apply, or like they're for all ages. Tropical Freeze, a remake at 1.4, and only 2 months on the market so far,
Yeah, but to be fair, like a lot of people like you never play Tropical Freeze.
and it's so good.
It is. It's a fantastic.
So good,
it is.
man.
It's not quite the Donkey Kong Country 1 through 3, but it is the Donkey Kong Country that we deserve.
It is
Yes.
it is really good. I really have enjoyed my time with it. Haven't beat it yet because other stuff keeps coming out. But it is there that I play whenever I'm like, I just want to play a couple. It's kind of like Captain Toad for me. Captain Toad, I'll pop in, I'll play
Yo,
a couple
Captain Toad
letters.
was fucking tight. I love
yeah, I
Captain
probably
Toad.
picked it up. Too.
Next up, the Nintendo Labo series at 1.39.
Labo.
The whole series.
Yeah,
It gets kids into
$80
building.
cardboard. That's
Gets
all
kids
I gotta
into
say.
building though. I mean, it's good.
I mean, yeah, but still, you can do that with other easier, less costly
It's a good
things.
Christmas/birthday buy
Yeah.
for children, but it's not something I would ever get.
You don't want that piano?
I mean, it's cool, but $80.
And
How
then-
about making the piano without any of the magnetic tape and just fucking realizing that it doesn't work at the end? I've seen like 4 videos of people
That'd be
putting together
funny.
like the
It's
piano.
not working.
It's just like fucking, it's not working.
And then
Like, I don't
Mario
need this
Tennis,
fucking tape. It's just like.
Mario Tennis Aces on the market for a month are at 1.38.
That's good. That's good.
All right, Aces.
I can
Aces is
hope
pretty
I can
tight.
hope that will spur Nintendo to make another series that I think needs to be on the Switch. The Super Mario Strikers. I had so much goddamn
Yes.
fun with Mario Soccer. So much goddamn fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That was a blast.
Get your hopes up, as they say.
Yeah, I'm not, but
Yeah, no, hockey hoops and fucking soccer is probably dead. To be honest with you, I think it's just baseball and tennis now that they do, which is like.
I want to see a Mario gridiron game, like
What?
actual
Yeah.
like football.
Just-
Mario players
The
like
Blitz 2004. You see Mario's testicles fucking explode in vicious fucking detail. See, like instead of fucking semen, just like mushroom sauce or something. Like, so weird. Like, oh no! Like, fucking snapped legs.
Paper Mario's running down the field. All of a sudden you see
Slices
Bowser-
people in half with a paper
Bowser's
cut.
just like,
He
kaboom!
just turns sideways and disappears and reappears down.
Brat.
yeah, those are all the first party games. This does not count other big games such as Octopath, which just crossed 1 million sales, and Mario and Rabbids, which was over 2 million last I checked. I tried to pull up the definitive sales numbers and I couldn't find it anywhere, but last update was it was over 2 million.
That's
So that is-
substantial.
yeah.
Hell yeah, keep that
Especially
kind of
for games that
Such
are
a-
only available on this
such
one
a
system.
weird fucking out of nowhere game too. Like they really didn't market that, as far as I know. Really, like until
I mean, it made
until
big
right
pushes at
before.
E3.
Yeah.
Well,
they-
technically, they didn't even officially announce it until E3, which was only like 3
2
months
mo-
before it came out.
Yeah, 2 months or before, something before that. Yeah.
But
Which is why I was like,
it's
came out
a
of nowhere.
really fun game. Mario Rabbids. I think I like it more than Odyssey, and I love Odyssey.
Really.
It's because like Odyssey, it's what I was expecting. I think that's the one downplay with Odyssey is like it's nothing
It's-
more than what I wanted, but it was what I wanted. Where like Mario and Rabbids, like I really didn't have that big expectations, and I was like,
And
oh,
it
this is
came
fucking
out,
awesome.
And it came out swinging.
Yeah.
Bruh, can we just have the Spyro remaster already?
It
Please.
comes out next month, man. Calm
Oh
down.
my god, I'm so
Are you gonna play
ready.
that on your Switch?
Yeah, I hope.
Oh, but it's not coming out on Switch
It's
right
not
away.
coming out on Switch.
Not like right away. Right now, it's just PS4, Xbox.
I can deal. I got a PS4.
I got an Xbox.
Someone
Haha.
Hey, Jake, I'll be staying at your house for like a week.
Oh, good thing I have Xbox.
I'll play your Switch.
That Spyro, the original Spyro, first game I ever 100%ed.
Really?
Seriously. And I had to go back.
Only game he's ever won.
I went back. No, it's not the only game, but it's the first game. I went back like We had the Wii, and I hooked up the PlayStation one day, and I was like, "Fuck, Spyro was my shit." And then I
So
looked
then
it
he
up.
grabbed that Wii. He played some Call of Duty on it, aimed with the gun.
I used to play Wii Call of Duty. It was horrible.
It was fun.
It was
It was
horrible.
so
See, Rob,
much fun.
The reason I
Rob,
make
no.
fun of you for Call of Duty on the Wii is because that's the reaction you should have.
It was so much.
You should
fun.
realize how bad it
I got
was.
to
You
the
know
point-
what's even worse? I played the Wii Call of Duty competitively. I remember
So did
doing
I.
game
So
battles.
did I.
remember doing game battles for World at War, and I was hot shit.
They
I was
had
in a
game
clan.
battles on Wii.
I was in a yes, they did, and nobody updated the scoreboards because nobody gave a fuck about the Wii version. I was in a clan and I rocked
My
it.
favorite thing was just I played Call of Duty 4. My favorite thing was just being able to take the L9 or whatever
It
sniper
did
rifle.
turn it sideways. It's just sniping.
Dude, I could literally like sword swipe, pull the trigger, headshot, boom. It was so satisfying.
Oh, you had to aim like 6 feet in front of people when you were shooting because the latency was so bad.
And I did this weird thing with Call of Duty games where I was on my 360 and it worked.
Oh no!
It's crazy.
You are just ants at my nostalgia picnic, Mike and Aaron, both of you. Fuck off.
Oh, I love that shit. That was great.
So-
Take it from somebody who played Madden on the Wii.
Oh,
I played that.
Oh
on
my
the Wii.
god! Hold on.
Hold on, I gotta throw.
Gotta move.
X,
Gotta throw.
X,
Yeah, no, that is so much worse than Call of Duty.
Yeah,
on the
it's
Wii.
that-
But you know what the
worse.
difference is?
Thank you.
We don't look at it nostalgically. We're like, man,
Yeah.
this sucked.
Thank you.
I spent a lot of years on Call of Duty.
Thank you,
World
Wii
at
Madden,
War
for
on
my
the
shoulder, for my nerve damage in my shoulder.
Wii. Oh no, fucking Christ!
So remember how
Madden-
last
Madden
week
on the Wii
we
put
did
you out.
games with gold, but there were no PlayStation Plus games?
Yeah,
the
no,
PlayStation Plus games are up.
Yes,
First up, Mafia 3.
Ooh,
That's a really fun game
ooh, that is a quality.
with
game.
like a lot of shit you don't want to do in between. Do all these
It's
stupid fucking missions, and then there's these really cool story missions
a GTA clone with
with no fast travel
no fast
and,
travel
and a lot of
better
like
story.
middle parts.
Yeah.
The
It's
actual story missions though, fucking
still,
awesome.
I would
man.
play
The
the
story
shit out
of
of. I'd play the shit out
I
of
did
that.
play the shit out of it. Didn't play the DLC because I was like, I ain't going back in there, but
Mhm.
I really enjoyed the game. Also, a game that you're a fan of, Dead by Daylight.
Wow.
Oh, Dead
Okay.
by Daylight.
Free on
Dead by
PS4.
Daylight's on. Wow. Okay. Damn.
You can play as all your favorite characters, such as Freddy, the nurse, the creepy clown, the chainsaw dude,
Mike
Leatherface.
Myers.
Leatherface.
Yeah.
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers is.
Yeah,
He plays
yeah.
Michael Myers.
Yeah.
In it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was getting
And-
Mike Myers and Jason confused.
And
Jason's
then,
not on it.
and then yeah, Jason isn't on there, but you can also play as Laurie Strode if you get that DLC.
Oh, in the you can play as the pig killer from Saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miranda or whatever her name. And then you can play as Detective Tap.
Bill from Left 4 Dead is in there too.
Yeah.
Maybe not on PS4.
Probably not on
Probably
PS4.
Not on PS4.
Well,
It might be Steam
who knows?
exclusive.
Also available.
Good game. Good game.
A
Uh,
wonderful game.
PS3 games I don't care about. Vita games I don't care about.
Do they really? Vita is still like it's still.
You still
actually
get 2 games a
supported?
month on
It's still supported.
yeah, for some
Yeah.
some. I think they're ending at the end of this year, both PS3 and Vita.
All right.
At least PS3. I think Vita's also involved. Also available this month are Here to Lie, which is a PlayStation VR game. It's a bonus game, which again, if you don't have VR, but you might get it in the future, pick it up just in case.
I got glasses. I can't wear it.
And
like, it
Knowledge
sucks.
is Power, which is a PlayLink game. It's like one of those you use your phone and
Oh well.
it's a trivia game, but it's free. So why
1
would you not
versus
get it?
100, pretty much PlayStation.
Man, 1 vs 100 was so good though.
It
Now
was
the
sick.
360,
It was.
and they
sick.
stopped doing it. Basically, 1 vs 100 is what fucking HQ is now.
Yeah.
It's the HQ trivia.
Mhm.
Yeah. I try to do that every day. I normally work during it, but when I'm off at 9, I'm definitely checking there.
Mhm.
Made it to 6 questions once.
It's like 3 fucking day.
The 3 are like the super easy ones though. It's like,
Yeah, 'cause
hey, here's the real answer. Then here's 2 clearly made up answers. Here's the real answer. Here's 2 puns.
Hey
And
man,
then it
those,
starts getting hard.
those puns are really convincing sometimes. All right, you want to get at me?
Man, that pun, man.
That pun, sometimes I gotta pick it, man.
I feel you. I feel it. You gotta give it the props it deserves. It's like, you deserve me so much, you gotta fool me.
Yeah.
So now that we know both sets of games, who wins? Games with Gold or PlayStation Plus?
I'll give it to PlayStation Plus. No. Xbox had Fallout 4, didn't they?
No.
No, they have Forza.
They had
Oh,
Forza Horizon and another big game.
Fallout 4 was Game Pass. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
I'll give it to PlayStation.
I don't know, man. Just the fact that the 360 games you can actually play on Xbox One being free, unlike the PS3 games. And I mean,
That's also depressing. You know?
Dead Space 3 and Epic Mickey 2, I mean, are okay games. So
Yeah.
they're two.
Wait,
two
Dead
games
Space 3 or 2?
Three.
Three.
Yeah.
Epic Mickey 2.
Yeah.
He
see,
plays
that's-
Oswald the Rabbit.
That's what I. If it was
And then
Dead Space,
Forza-
Dead Space 2, Xbox definitely. But
They're releasing a Forza, which is a first-party game. PlayStation's not giving us a first-party game. And the other Xbox One game was also big. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but they gave
Whoever
4
big in the
solid
cars.
hitters, and basically PlayStation's giving a solid game, Mafia 3, and Dead by Daylight is a good game,
so it's a.
but it's
really-
also it's only like a $20 game.
It's also a niche game too as well.
It's definitely a good.
It's not a full $60 price game like Xbox
party
gave away.
game.
It's something that if you wanted to get you and your 4 friends together on a PlayStation Plus, like, oh yeah, let's go run around and get killed by Freddy. Yeah.
I was gonna
No,
say
you get
I will-
5, and then one of you's the fucking monster, and then you fuck with them.
Well, yeah, you could do that too. That's always fun.
I will give it to PlayStation for pushing a lesser known indie game that is of good quality.
I think it's pretty well known, man.
Yeah, I knew about it. I know.
I mean, if that's the
Yeah, if
test.
I
If
know
Aaron
about
knows
it,
about
yeah.
it, it's not.
He
It's
knows
not
about it
indie.
because I've been playing it for the last month and a half, though. If I hadn't, I doubt he would.
Which
I don't
one?
know.
Dead by
Dead by Daylight.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's well known. I mean, it may not be as played as much, but it's well known.
Yeah, well, especially
It had
Friday
more
the
numbers
13th.
than Friday the 13th.
Well, also Friday the 13th's a dead game now.
Well,
Yeah.
officially, because like they can't make anything new to it.
But
But I mean,
I
even
think-
when
I
it
think-
wasn't, it still had more numbers.
I think that Dead by Daylight, the name might be known, but it came out around a time with so many Dying
It came-
Light.
it came
that
out-
there were so
yeah.
many.
yeah,
there
that was
were
the
so
problem.
many,
That Dying Light came out at the same time.
There were
but-
so many Death by, Dead by,
Dying.
The Forest, 7 Days to Die. I feel like it got buried in a.
It didn't.
I feel like
It
did.
definitely
was-
did not.
It was substantial when it came out, but it has dropped off mostly because a lot of the same shit has been reproduced. A la Friday the 13th and other games that are trying to do similar things
Yeah,
along
and-
those lines.
but
There's like
still aren't doing it near as well.
first there's like a lot of like Trouble in Terrorist Town kind of alternatives, which is kind of the same.
Never heard of that one.
You've never heard
It's Gmod. Gmod shit.
It's essentially like 2 people out of a group of 8 are try to kill the rest of them without the other people finding out.
Yeah, there's like a group of people, and then they each get like roles. There's a detective.
My
Trouble
knowledge,
does Trouble in Terrorist Town have a detective, or is that? A
my
different-
knowledge of Gmod ends at Prop Hunt.
Yeah.
I was still telling my story. Hold on. So there's one dude's a detective, and then there'll be 2 people that are terrorists, and they need to try to kill the people. But then like you don't know that person's a terrorist, like unless you actually see them kill them.
Yeah.
So it's a lot like being like, no,
Mind
he's the
games
terrorist.
and
I'm,
suspicions.
it's like, I don't trust him. I'm gonna shoot him. Or like everyone who's innocent, get on this wall and shit.
So it's basically like that werewolf.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
werewolf.
And a lot of games around that time came out and they kind of overshadowed
A lot of mods for stuff.
Yeah, they overshadowed it a lot, and it was kind of lost in the strategic horror kind of that kind of genre.
The market got
Solid game though.
Yeah.
But I just still think Xbox is.
If you're big, if you're
Put it
super, if you're super big in the cars, Xbox. If you're not, PlayStation.
See, I'm not even big into cars, but I can appreciate Horizon enough to be like, they're giving that away for free. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a solid fucking game.
It's a solid game, but if you're not into racing, it
I've
doesn't
played
matter.
Horizon, and I'm really not a fan, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not. I can't even remember the last. The Crew. The Crew was probably the last racing game that I sat down.
You enjoyed The Crew?
I enjoyed the premise of The Crew. I haven't sat down and.
That explains why your opinions are shit.
A good car game in the same kind of vein of like Flat Out and Burnout, Wreckers. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It's just came out on Steam, I think, recently, and it has the same kind of motif as Burnout and Flat Out. It's by the same people that were on those dead teams.
Next car game.
Huh?
Next car game. Wreckfest.
Wreckfest. Wreckers or Wreckfest? It's like,
Wreckfest.
is it Wreckfest?
Wreckfest.
Wreckfest.
I'll tell you,
That's
next
fun.
car game I'm looking forward to is that Nickelodeon kart racer.
Ooh,
Yeah.
What?
what good?
It's like Mario Kart, but with your Nicktoons.
Yeah, but our
SpongeBob,
Like
Hey Arnold,
old school,
Rugrats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, old
So
school.
they're
Like
doing-
our generation of Nicktoons.
So they're
Yeah.
doing like a Super Punch Time Explosion, but with Mario Kart instead.
Yeah.
You know that game?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
that game was fucking tight, dude.
You know that game? Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion?
Shit was tight.
It was
It was like the beginning of the Smash clone
The
craze.
fucking story mode of that though, with
Oh.
fucking Captain Planet shit. Like it was funny as fuck because like I played it with my roommates at the time, and we're playing through it. We're like, this is stupid. We're enjoying it, but you know, like, oh, this is stupid. I was like, man, that fucking Captain Planet's gonna show up at the end, and then fucking 2 months later,
fucking
Captain Planet shows up at the end, like no fucking clue who's in there.
Oh, I love that shit. It was great. Oh, Captain Planet. Fuck yeah.
Next up, Sandlot. They're making a prequel.
I
No,
mean,
prequel to Sandlot.
doesn't really need to be there, but I mean,
Sure.
I'll at least sure.
Is it gonna be T-ball?
Sandlot just looks like they're gonna destroy my childhood. You don't need any more story to it. It's like
Yeah, I mean, it's just
there's nothing to explore.
yeah. That's
It's like, hey, this kid shows up, he meets all these kids. This is the kid's story. We know all the kids' stories.
so. What do you need the prequel about?
Exactly. That's what. But they're apparently making one. They're killing me, Smalls. All I gotta say about that.
Yeah.
Did I include this story just to say that phrase?
Yes,
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 I
you
did.
Good.
Taking a high five.
Oh, okay.
Football's back. It's come back.
Nah,
I'm excited.
Yes.
football.
Thank
Preseason,
God.
it's here. Just a couple weeks away from the regular season.
EA
Gotta sit down and
Sports.
start the fantasy league.
Time to take a
See,
17-week break from the podcast.
I hate to say it, but like my void that I needed filled since hockey's in the off season, I've unfortunately adopted baseball for the time being. So
But you know what's better than both hockey and baseball? Football.
Hockey.
The answer's football.
hockey, no hockey,
Hockey.
Hockey.
Nah, it's
Hockey.
football, man.
Hockey.
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 There's too many games.
Hockey.
Hockey.
3v1.
Hockey. I mean,
Huh?
3v1 hockey?
Hockey.
I'll get if they start a 3v1 professional league. I'll get behind that.
you know what's clearly better? 3-on-3 professional basketball.
Yo, can we get the 3-on-3 Mario hoops though?
Right?
Yeah.
3-on-3
3-on-3 Fortnite.
Rocket League hoops basketball version.
Oh, I remember that. Jesus, that was the most ridiculous. Shit.
That's fucking bullshit. Like it'll curve and then just all of a sudden go back this fucking way. No, that's not the way physics works. Rocket League.
Yeah, I know. Rocket League has horrible.
Rocket League hockey was fun though.
But
Yeah,
with,
it was.
With football season coming back, there's a new tackle rule. Have you heard about this,
Oh
Aaron?
my god. My ass is
I
asleep.
try to avoid all the new tackle rules,
My ass is asleep.
So
but
they
You wanna trade
eliminate.
seats?
There's 2 things. Don't fuck it. What the fuck are you doing?
Chinese fire drill.
This just throws everything off. I don't know what to do.
Oh my god, my whole leg is asleep.
All right, so there's
can't
2
feel
new
my knee.
there's 2 new tackle involved rules that we need to touch on because they
Hold on,
both.
did they fix what a catch is?
Yes.
no.
Oh,
Yes.
oh well then I'll
They
watch.
went through like a whole thing with the catch. That
then I'll watch it again.
But now any
Jake,
any tackle
I can now feel my foot
any
again.
tackle where you lead with your helmet is now a flag.
What?
If you ever like put your head down to make a tackle, that's a flag automatically.
Yeah, no. That's
Stupid rule, right?
because you're gonna see a lot more injuries
'Cause
where
your head's gonna be
People-
snapping back.
I was gonna say people are gonna be tackling people on the
Well,
Well,
that's technically how you're supposed to tackle.
because now next
It's the by the
year
book
next
tackle.
year's big
no
thing
vision,
is
no vision, just eyes straight up.
next year's big thing is to be no more stiff arms because Rob's gonna try to tackle me like this, and I'm just gonna go quacha, and his head's just gonna be like,
snap his neck.
Yeah, you're gonna see a
Like-
lot of cranium injuries with that kind of rolling.
Finish him.
all of a sudden football players are learning the 5-finger death punch, like all that shit.
They
Like, they're
just-
just
They end up punting somebody's head through
Now,
a
if you think
fucking
that's
uprights.
if you think that's a dumb rule, you should listen to this. Apparently, you know how before, if you would slide with your feet, you would be giving yourself up, and that would be the end of your run.
yeah.
Now, if at any point you're like going to the ground and giving yourself up, like even if you're like say diving for the end zone, if you're diving, it doesn't matter if you're feet first or head first, you're considered down, and if you hit that player, that'll be a flag. So, how the fuck's that gonna work in the end zone?
Oh,
I
what?
don't know yet.
What?
If
So-
you're
so
if you're at
they're
any point
just-
giving yourself up and going to the ground, so
Well,
like, let's say
Cam
you just-
Newton's gonna lead the league in touchdowns, and whoever's
Or
playing
penalties on
the
him.
Panthers are gonna have the most penalties because
yeah,
fucking-
we'll see how that rule works, but that is the new rule that's running right now.
oh my god,
Fucking stupid.
this is why hockey's better, Mike.
So how
It's
did,
not.
how do they
It's
even
really
how
not.
do they even reference where your run stops, where you actually
It would be
start
where
sliding?
yeah.
They don't know. That's half the fun.
It's basically that too. It'd be like
The-
whatever we decide
that
is
moment
when
where-
he gave himself up, but it's
Wh-
at the
I'm
point
waiting-
where he's considered giving himself up is where the ball would be.
I'm
placed.
waiting for the day where we literally just have like a bunch of like tennis people who are just like every line is just like huh! like ow.
To the point where the NFL is becoming so convoluted that I actually sat down the other day and watched a full CFL game.
Really?
Johnny Manziel threw 4 picks
See,
in the first half.
He did.
In
It's
hockey,
it
a goal
was
is a
awful.
goal.
And you don't have to fight it. You
And
just
a
know
check
if it
is a
goes.
check.
You know if he just goes between the posts and it hits a fucking. It doesn't even have to hit a net. It just has to
But
go between the posts.
There's just
Yep.
not as much strategy to it, right? The reason I love
There's
football
like-
is because
I think there's
There's like-
strategy, my
I
asshole.
think-
There's
Stop
like-
and start.
there is strategy to hockey, but I mean, there's like chess levels of strategy, XCOM levels
No.
of strategy in
See,
football.
I
No.
would say if there was
See.
chess levels of strategy and everything, I'd say baseball. Holy shit, who the fuck am I?
Rob.
I mean, a lot of the baseball strategy though is like not in-game strategy. It's like overall strategy. I mean, like football, there's a shit ton of in-game strategy that I think just makes it the best sport. Some may say the only sport.
No.
No.
And
Moving
that's
on.
coming from Tony, who I played football my whole life, and I love football with the passion. All right,
Of the Christ. He loves football.
Oh, I am coming, God. I love
We're
football.
so out of frame.
I
That's
love
funny.
football like Mel Gibson loves Jesus.
To the point.
Enough
of-
to flagellate yourself on camera like a
to the
fucking
point,
like
to the
a
point
fucking
of
Philistine.
to the point
Jesus
of
Christ.
anti-Semitism.
We at the Internet Scholars would like to apologize, but a small section of our video has been removed due to one of the members making an off-color joke that they personally asked to be removed due to an ambien addiction. We at the Internet Scholars would not like to reveal who made this joke, but we do not stand behind the fact that this joke was made. Also, the person making this joke was not Rob, Mike, or Jake. That is all.
So, speaking of futures where someone might be a politician, Kane's the mayor now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one out there.
Go Kane.
No, he ran, he legitimately ran.
He actually ran.
Yeah.
And won.
Yeah.
That's
Ran
fantastic.
and
Good
won.
for him.
In
you know,
Kentucky.
Kane was
No,
Kane,
Tennessee.
Tennessee?
Knox-
Say it to me.
Knox County, Tennessee.
Well, to be honest with you, I trust my life in the hands of Arnold Schwarzenegger more than I do in 45. So, yeah.
I mean, he was a.
I mean, what?
he's
He's a
you know
small,
what
like,
he, you know what he did
230
when he wasn't wrestling, right?
No.
He was a school teacher.
Kane
That's
taught
bitchin'.
before Kane was a professional wrestler. He was a 3rd grade teacher.
Yo.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine that motherfucker as your 3rd grade
Like, hello,
teacher?
class.
yeah, just
comes
the
in
whole
with his
time.
comes in with his little tiny like hello,
I'm
class.
gonna go out on a limb and say he didn't go to school like that.
That I would fucking go
Before
to school
he
like
played
that with
Jacob Goodnight in those
Just
one horror
wearing,
films.
wearing a medium long sleeve button-up shirt that's just waiting for one wrong twitch to rip off.
Like a jacked
just
Ted
shooting
Mosby.
the eyes of a 3rd grader. Like a button.
Ted Mosby, architect.
Just
Yeah.
establishing dominance over.
Right, so for smaller game news, that Digimon game you care about is going to the West.
Cool. I'll be more excited for it when we get to see gameplay.
There's a trailer. It's like kind of gameplay. There's a trailer out now.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, I didn't
haven't-
watch it, but it
I
was
haven't
there.
seen
It said,
it.
"Hey, look at this trailer." And I was
Where
like,
when's PSO 2 gonna come to the West? So that's the real fucking question.
PSO2?
Fantasy Star Online?
Oh.
And moving up.
Oh come on, Rip.
Also, in smaller news, BioWare hints that they're still working on Mass Effect games.
Are they continuing Andromeda, or are they starting?
Hopefully not. But
That's-
all they've been like is like because we were asking about what are you gonna do after Anthem. They're like, we were asking about Mass Effect. And they're like, yeah, we know people enjoy Mass Effect, and we're working on secret projects involving it. So there's something.
So they're not secret anymore.
Hey, well, we don't know what it is. What if it's the Elder Scrolls Blades of Mass Effect games? So they can technically say, hey, yeah, we have an Elder Scrolls game coming out
Oh, did
this
that,
year.
Did that come out yet?
No, I think it's in
Blades?
beta.
Oh.
I'd still play it. Yo, if it's anything like what is it, Legend of Grimrock? Oof, I would play the shit out of that.
I don't get that reference. I'm sorry.
It's a dungeon crawler with like really hyper realistic.
Next up in
Graphics for
small
Dungeon Crawler.
news. Remember how we talked about the Sandlot making a prequel?
Ew, yeah,
Die Hard's having a prequel too.
gross.
No.
Why?
They're ruining the perfect Christmas and action film because apparently John McClane didn't start his days, just being a good cop that all of a sudden Die Hard happened to. Apparently there was shit that happened before.
With more terrorists.
And
Is this going to be the Thanksgiving special?
Yes.
months
It's gonna-
before the
it's
Christmas
gonna-
event?
It's gonna be the Easter special, all right. He's gotta have time to decompartmentalize.
Christ is risen.
Die Hard, how Jack met Diane.
But Bruce Willis is helping pick out the actor that's going to play young John McClane.
Well, that's
And
good.
it's gonna be
Well, at least
flashbacks.
that's gonna be.
It's gonna have, from what I read, it's gonna have like corresponding storylines, and you're gonna have old John McClane. And
So it's going to be like
Yeah.
young Indiana Jones Adventures.
Prequel, sequel.
yeah, it's gonna be a
Young Indiana Jones Adventures start off like.
It's
the
gonna be a
first
pre-
quarter,
it's gonna
and
be a
then go to
pre-sequel.
the adventure. So is it going to be more like there's just setups with him, or is it going to be more like Godfather
Like,
2?
From what I understood, I'm hoping that
more like a Godfather.
Yeah,
too,
I'm
to be
hoping
honest.
I'm
this is
hoping
not-
that we can just let Die Hard die.
I mean,
how
yeah.
I read it is it's gonna be John McClane sitting in a bar,
Hopefully
and it's
after
just
this-
like,
Oh no!
so
no, no,
this
about
time
it.
back in 1976.
You're thinking
Hopefully.
of Split.
Hopefully.
Split
Yes.
ends with him at a bar talking.
Hopefully.
Speaking of Glass, looks fucking sick.
Yeah, it does.
Hopefully after this we can still die hard and not die, soft. You
Oh,
laugh.
David Carradine.
You laugh.
All right, so
Die flaccid.
we're playing T-ball. here.
Damn!
Rob,
I'm
Rob-
on
Rob had the ball all set up, right? And then he just fucking swung the bat at himself and missed the ball completely.
Yeah, but I threw in the David Carradine joke and saved him. It's fine.
Saved me. You're the one who laughed at my dumbass joke.
Look, we're in dark places. It's
Half
okay.
the time I make dumbass jokes just to see what sorry motherfucker laughs at him.
In
Today it
more
was you.
movie news that's just confusing as fuck. So last week we talked about the Batman movie that Matt Reeves is making,
Yeah.
and it was going to be a prequel starring based on Year One, starring a younger Batman, new actor.
Yeah.
Now they're like, no, it's not going to be based on Year One, and Ben Affleck's involved? Question mark. Was literally what came out. So we have no clue what the fuck's going on with this movie. Fuck you, DC.
Except Shazam.
DC.
Shazam's about the bright
Aquaman
spot.
looks fun too.
It looks
It's
alright.
fun. The
I've
CG
always,
looked
I
awesome.
always like Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa looks like he's having a good time, and that's why I'm excited. For
That's
Yeah.
that's why I'm excited about it, because if an actor's having a good time with what they're filming, it's actually going to be a good film on their part.
That's
You
why
know?
I like most of the shit The Rock does, because The Rock's
'Cause it's-
happy when he's like.
Because he's just a goofy motherfucking guy, even if he is in shit like Skyscraper or whatever that.
I'm sure
is.
Skyscraper was fun.
I can't
I didn't
get
see it.
It was really trash.
I
Was it
can't.
not?
I was gonna say I cannot. I cannot give him a pass for Skyscraper.
I haven't
You
seen it.
saw
but I
it?
was-
Well, to
No,
be
but
honest with you, didn't he do like horrible like Need for Speed rip-offs too? On top of that, like,
The Rock?
Fast and
that-
the Furious is not a Need for Speed rip-off.
No, didn't he do a rip-off of that series though? Like,
No.
didn't
No.
star into it?
No, he had like a
You're not
couple like when he first started, like he had like a couple like
Really, like
cheesy
kinda-
action movies.
Oh,
But he
you're
also had
talking
fucking,
Snitch.
What?
You're talking about
Eh,
Snitch.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah.
Where
where
his
it's like his
son's
sons,
about
yeah.
to go to prison or something, and he's trying to keep him from going to prison.
What's that early Rock? The Rundown?
That's one of the best
That's
Rock
fucking
movies
good,
ever.
Like
I'm
some
not
of his early
familiar
stuff's
off the
good.
top.
Walking Tall.
I actually
with,
think
with him
that
and
the-
Johnny Knoxville.
That was a good
The,
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
The not the Mummy Scorpion King where he was like CGI at the end, but the actual like Scorpion King movie I thought's okay too.
That was a
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was his debut.
Scorpion King, I was a fan of.
Yeah.
That was his debut. That movie was good.
Well, his debut was again Mummy 2, where the end where he's the Scorpion King,
Fuck you.
where he's the CGI Scorpion.
Really, that was actually his first film? Like,
I
Yeah.
believe that was his first.
that's
Oh,
that's
yeah.
mildly depressing.
Yeah, but he's evolved since then. He's just
Yeah,
an
no,
enjoyable
he's
motherfucker.
actually an actor now. He's not just The Rock, who is a wrestler. He's an actor.
He's really Dwayne Johnson now.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is Dwayne Johnson.
One day Curtis Jackson can own up to that
I knew you were gonna.
No,
and stop just being $50.
God damn it.
Nah, I think the next one you're gonna see go big is every movie in the next 10 years is
Dave
Gam-
Bautista.
Gambino.
No.
Cena?
You can never see him. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, he
Also,
he
that
can't be
Bumblebee-
credited.
But no, he's coming back in Now You See Me 3.
Hold on. Touch on something for a second.
I actually like both those movies. I'm not gonna touch it.
I would be fine with Gambino having more movie roles as long as they're good.
Do you want to hear something crazy, Rob?
What?
So this has nothing to do with Childish Gambino, but I went and saw Mission Impossible the other weekend, right?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Before the movie, there was trailers. The Bumblebee trailer played. I didn't hate it. I actually enjoyed it. I think there might be a chance. Like the first couple times I saw the trailer, I didn't like it, but for some reason it worked for me this time.
I am not optimistic at all about it.
Oh, it's probably still gonna suck. But I mean, I think the trailer's good. It went from me definitely not seeing it to I'll probably wind up seeing it.
You gonna go see Axel too?
Fuck no.
Have you seen Axel?
Oh my god, it's awful. Transformer puppy.
I don't want to.
It's
Why don't
like what was that movie that Dwight from The Office was in? like the little kid, they found like a toy or alien or some shit.
The monster truck movie?
No, it was like right after The Office.
Aliens in the Attic?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I feel like it's not.
For
But
some
it was
reason,
Can of Worms.
for some reason, this Axel movie gives me Bridge to Terabithia vibes. I feel like the trailer's like super fun. and
Okay.
everything.
Here's the
And then-
thing. Like Axel's gonna be a piece of shit movie. Bridge to Terabithia is not a piece of shit movie. It just fucking killed me.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's gonna be. I'm not
It
saying.
literally took my heart out and hasn't given it back since.
That's
That was
what
the
I'm
last
saying.
day I felt.
That's what I'm saying.
That was the last
I don't
day.
think Bridge to Terabithia was a shit movie. I think that this Axel movie is going to sucker punch people with feels.
I don't. I think it's
I-
gonna
I
be a
just-
stupid bad action movie.
I get the vibes from it. I don't know.
Dog dies at the end. It's just gonna be a fucking mech version of fucking
Like we're
Old
the
Yeller.
dog.
Old Yeller.
The dog's comatose. The dog's comatose. We gotta put him in a mech version and have him fight super.
The robot dog has robot rabies. We gotta put him down.
Oh my god.
Shit, the dog got a Trojan.
the condom or the fucking virus.
He got the
he
virus
ate
from the
one.
condom.
chokes on the rubber band.
So what else do we got?
Dude,
Dennis is gonna be in the majority of Always Sunny 13. We had a fear like he wasn't gonna be, but now he is, and that's very exciting
It's very good.
because that show's the fucking best, and he's the fucking best.
It is pretty
Very
good.
good.
Along with Danny DeVito and Charlie and Rob's character.
Our Lord Danny DeVito.
Anyone besides the bird is the best part of that show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, D's fine.
Definitely better than the snail.
I'm doing that part of the podcast where I just like deadpan you and then you're
Gale the snail?
Ah, gotcha.
Patrick
He's being an asshole. You get it.
Patrick Stewart is going to be back as Picard in a new Star Trek series.
Dude, I am hyped.
Yes.
I am
Ready, dude.
fucking hyped.
The Next Generation
The
is the best
best.
thing about Star Trek besides the first J.J. Abrams movie, which I really love. It's just a really good movie. Not
Yeah,
sure how
it is.
Star Trek he is, but it's a great movie. Second and third ones are okay.
I was never big on Star Trek. Out of the
The
space
movies
opera,
or the
the most of it, like I want to get into it. It's sort of my like.
do Next Generation, man.
Yeah.
Next Generation is like where you want it.
I know with the original ones you have
It's
to
like-
watch it with a guide almost because you'd be wasting your time otherwise.
I've seen.
Yeah.
I
Next
think I've
Generation
seen
is like very smartly written.
the first two William Shatner movies, and then the only movie I've actually sat down and watched besides that is the one with the fucking whales.
Oh,
The fourth one
The fourth,
the
yeah,
fourth
the fourth one.
yeah.
Yeah, those.
or the
are-
fifth one?
The fourth one, wasn't it?
No, because the second one,
Ugh.
Spawn dies. The third one, Search for Spock. Maybe it's the fourth one.
It's just the fourth one.
It's
Right?
either the fourth or fifth.
Yeah,
No, the fifth one's the one that Shatner directed, and
It was.
they like go to like the 80s or 70s or some bullshit. Like,
yeah, that's isn't that the same one as
that's the whale one then, and that's the fifth one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I like
So
I like
fucking confusing with the
I like
Star
Khan
Trek
though.
movies.
Star Trek 2.
I mean, I like Star Trek. It's just I've never.
Yeah, because 4 is a voyage home, so 5 is down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Star Trek was one of those things. I feel like it hit its highlight before my time, and I haven't.
I don't know. You're around for Next Generation. I honestly think that's the highlight because like that show's actually like smartly written. I've heard the new series is actually pretty good too. Discovery.
Yeah.
And like just getting more Patrick Stewart not being the poop emoji in the Emoji Movie is great. If he's in anything
Yes.
but that.
Yes,
Ignore it.
please.
I love how I've always loved how really Patrick Stewart dives into like Seth MacFarlane's cartoons and everything.
Yeah.
Because he is so fucking like he wants to do that, shit.
That fucking
And it is-
episode where Stewie gets the Next Generation cast.
Yes!
It's just like normal people. Just like,
Yes. Anything with director Bullock from American Dad, great.
Little baby Susie.
Little baby Susie.
and the last news story I have on here is that Final Fantasy VII is going to be a real shocker. You know, we've seen all this stuff about the remake. You're not going to believe this.
It's not being remade.
It's going to be an action game. What? You're going to tell me that Tetsuya Nomura, the creator of what was originally going to be Versus 15 or Versus 14 and then became 15,
Yeah.
the director of Kingdom Hearts is going to make an action game?
What?
No! But apparently this was a big news story that came out this week. They're like, oh man, they're hiring people that clearly shows it's going to be an action game. No fucking shit. Like, come on. You don't get the Kingdom Hearts dude to make a not action game.
This hasn't.
You get a turn-based RPG.
This isn't such a left-hand turn as when Nintendo announced that Mario Odyssey was going to be a platformer.
Nah, it's more shocking that when you find out that in the 8th Fast and Furious movie, it turned out that it was also about family, and not just about cars.
Stop, please.
Almost.
Did I spoil it for you? Were you
Almost-
surprised?
No, I was not surprised.
Almost as perplexing as how a donkey and a dragon had children.
Well, I mean, there's some big questions there. This has no questions.
Look, I still don't know why you wanted to watch Shrek now that night.
There was a
Real-
joke.
I just don't
Real
get
fucking
it.
talk though.
There was a joke.
She put it back on. I've watched Shrek twice this week.
If anybody's gonna appreciate this, I know it's gonna be Mike. Shrek the musical, 10 out of 10 soundtrack.
Oh, I believe
I
it.
haven't heard it yet.
Most beautiful shit next to Hamilton.
Okay. I don't
Moana
know.
ain't got shit
Speaking-
on the
speaking
Shrek.
of this-
Do not insult the Moana soundtrack. That's legit.
Moana doesn't have
Okay.
shit on the Shrek soundtrack.
I don't know how often you guys listen to the radio. I know with my job, like I
don't.
just-
It's on there. Moana's fucking.
No, here's something crazy. Bro, so the other day you posted a story on Snapchat, like around like 4:30 or something, or 5:30 or whatever
Yeah.
it was, and you're rocking out to fucking Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
At the I almost recorded a story at the same time. So we were listening to the same fucking channel at the same time, rocking out to Backstreet Boys.
That's
Like I
great.
checked the story later,
That's
and I was
great.
like, no fucking way.
That's
I so
great.
wish I would have recorded the story.
Oh my
so that would have been
God.
the funniest fucking shit.
That is so
Both
good.
in our separate trucks. rocking to
So
Backstreet
anyway,
Boys.
There's a station on our local radio, Tampa Bay,
98.7.
104.1. And I swear
Is
to
that the Eagle?
no,
That's 107.
107 point.
and 104.7 is something else, but 104.1. I swear to God, this is some eccentric motherfucker who has rented the rights to broadcast and just has his fucking iPod hooked up to an auxiliary jack. Because I turn it on and I get everything from like old like Rat Pack knockoff music, and then the other day I turned it on and the death song from Hamilton was playing on the radio, and I'm like, what
Spoilers.
the fuck is even going on?
Anyways.
Legitimately, I am trying to avoid as much Hamilton music as possible because I plan on seeing the show when it comes through.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair
I
enough.
didn't
Okay,
know.
fair enough. Yeah, no, Hamilton.
I mean, I have heard some. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't go out of my way to listen to the songs.
No, well, one of my friends. That,
No, the Hamilton soundtrack is great.
But I
it,
listen
it
to it.
is. It's ridiculously good.
Like every time I listen about that, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to miss my shot.
Side note, the director who actually wrote, or the composer who wrote a lot of the music for Hamilton itself, actually wrote songs for Moana, as well.
Yeah, Lin-Manuel
Yeah, you're talking
Miranda.
about
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he wrote songs for it.
He's a character in the movie too.
Side note.
A
Side
small
note.
character.
I didn't know that until recently.
He's also in the new Mary Poppins.
But Mary Poppins is trash.
If you haven't
The
seen
new
it,
Mary
Whoa.
Poppins. They're making a new Mary Poppins.
If
It has
you-
Emily Blunt and Lin-Manuel Miranda.
if you
Oh, it's the
haven't
fucking
seen
best.
it yet,
Yeah.
go on Hulu or whatever streaming. Find the Drunk History episode where they have Lin-Manuel Miranda do Hamilton. It is the best thing ever. Seriously.
Oh, that has to be really.
No, we'll pull it up after this. We'll pull it up
And,
after
and
the
if
release.
you haven't seen it yet, go to your local video store or on Netflix and go rent The Greatest Showman. Because the
Oh, is it
fucking
on
music in
Netflix?
that is so
That's-
fucking good.
That's another horrible person. P.T. Barnum
I mean, here's
was.
the thing, like,
but I mean that
as
whole
a historical
aspect,
account, horrible.
Yeah.
But P.T.
With
Barnum
hu-
in this movie, awesome.
with
Hugh
huge
Jackman being
with
charming
huge
as fuck.
jacked man, he is a fucking phenomenal singer. And you wouldn't expect it from a guy who had cancer like 4 fucking times. This guy's flipping around and shit and singing like "Will Be On." He's fucking great. He's got the deep baritone
fucking-
voice. It makes me moist.
What's
Like an angel food cake, I am moist whenever I hear that,
I feel you, man.
brother. Ooh.
now? There is a correct answer. What's the best scene in the movie?
Let me see the bar scene.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, he's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in. You guys
With
are kicked off
Zac,
the
with
podcast.
Zac Efron, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best scene in the movie.
I mean, they would have got fucking wasted as fuck. 'Cause they took like 3 shots in
Dog.
3 seconds.
Dog, I counted. They took over 20 shots individually each, and there's no way they'd be dancing like how they would. And that barman on top, he was on top of that fucking shit. He better been tipped really well. Like at least a nickel or 5, because that guy was on it,
He
dude.
clearly lost his job later because the bar was completely empty when they all met up later, so he was out of a job.
Because they were all just pouring their own liquor. They just fucking broke into a bar and started writing the shit.
I knew you'd be here at this bar without the bartender or any other customers.
Just drinking away, like.
Oh man, Greatest Showman was so good though.
Oh, fucking, I love The Greatest Showman. Phenomenal.
Zendaya, so attractive.
Not a fan.
No?
Not a fan of Zendaya. I didn't like her songs. Zac Efron was good though.
I mean, her songs weren't great, but I mean, just her look in that, and in general,
I mean, yeah.
she'd get it.
The bearded lady though.
Ooh, baby.
The bearded lady. Ooh.
She could sing. Hold up, because here she comes. Whoa.
Whoa.
So, Rob, are you going to play your game, or do you not want to do the game?
I got the game.
Okay, he's going to do the game.
He's gonna do the
Not like we haven't
games.
gone for 3 hours already.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't want to do the
No,
game...
you can do the game. I'm
Okay.
fucking with you.
So, Jake, since you seem to have amnesia and have forgotten all the skits we do here on Internet Scholars Podcast, even though
Bits,
I am
Rob.
sure
They're bits.
you are a
Skits.
die-hard fan, every week I
Fattest
come up
kids you know.
with... why didn't we go with that as a name? Copyright infringement.
I'm skinny now.
Copyright infringement, that's why. I come up with a few articles, and it is y'all's job to tell me what is the fake news article.
Oh, I like it. All right.
Did you know that OK stands for all correct?
I thought it was Annie Oakley.
Annie,
Okay, in the OK Corral.
Annie, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Are you okay, Annie?
Okay.
Annie, are you okay?
So,
Everyone out there trying to find about Kiki, and I just want to know if Annie's okay.
I just want to know if Annie's okay. So we're just going to jump into it. I am going to read the articles, the
The
titles
headlines.
of
It
the
doesn't get
articles,
into the whole text.
and then I will give you first shot since you are the newbie.
Okay.
And you
then-
better not miss your shot.
I'm gonna have
Not
to
gonna
listen.
give up
I'm,
my shot.
I'm just gonna have to listen to Hamilton after.
Just like this podcast, you're young, scrappy, and hungry.
Young,
You're not
scrappy,
going to
and
miss
hungry.
this shot.
All right, so here we go. Amish man launches Uber ride service with his horse and buggy.
I'll just tell you now, I want that one to be true.
Pope,
So I'm not going to pick it.
Pope Francis hastily condemns capital punishment after Vatican police announced new evidence found in 2014 stabbing. Elderly men escape nursing home to go to Wacken Musical Festival or Metal Festival. I'm sorry, Wacken
That one's true.
Metal Festival.
I know that one's true.
Don't share with the class.
Sorry.
Damn it, Aaron.
Barack,
Sorry.
Barack and Joe solve a murder mystery, and can I just say that one sounds like the title card for a Sunny in Philadelphia episode. So, Jake, what is the fake news?
I'm gonna go with Barack and Joe.
All right, Mike.
Well, as we all know, Barack and Joe recently hung out together, went to a bakery and some shit. And bakeries, bakery sounds like Baker Street. Baker Street, the home of Sherlock Holmes, so obviously that one's correct.
Okay.
Yo,
the Metal
he was
Festival.
doing some numerology on that one. I'm
Yeah.
almost positive. Did the stars align in the window or
Busting
some
out
shit?
the Fibonacci sequence.
The
Dan
Metal-
Brown just fucking superimposed
Alien.
himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then you've got Alien, and he's aliens.
Aliens.
As we know from the hit,
Don't. Aaron's still got to guess. Don't
who's the
logic
twist guy?
everything.
Who's the twist guy? As we know from the hit M. Night Shyamalan film,
Shamalama Ding Dong.
people escape from asylums and elderly homes all the time.
They do.
So
They do.
clearly,
Fucking do.
clearly they escaped and went to the metal festival. And as I said before,
Judas
I
Priest
want,
was the headliner.
I want the
I'd
buggy one to be
escaped
true.
too.
So I'm locking in
yeah,
story
dude.
number 2 as the fake news.
Pope Francis hastily. All right. What about you, Aaron?
I'm Catholic. I'm gonna go with story number 2.
All right.
Yo, he knows.
I know damn well. My hair was parted till I was 14.
All right. Cologne, Michigan. Newest taxi service has 4 wheels, 4 legs, and good gas mileage.
Cologne.
Timothy Hochstetler is adding some horsepower to ride sharing with his horse and buggy. He spoke with WWMT, whatever. Uber is a cool thing. Every single year something new comes in, and Uber is hot right now, so we have the Amish Uber. We can deliver people to their front doorsteps.
Here's the worst part. You just read that. I still don't know if it's true or fake.
No, it's true.
Okay.
That's fucking true,
It
dude.
is true.
That's true.
A German nursing home alerted police after they noticed 2 men were missing. They were later found at 3 a.m. at the Wacken Open Air Metal Festival.
Fucking, you know what they were doing.
I've got jobs to do.
The nursing home alerted police after the gentlemen were found to be missing from the center. Police then found the aging metalheads at 3 a.m. The world's biggest heavy metal festival. A police spokeswoman said they were disorientated and dazed.
And reluctant to leave.
The men
They were dazed and confused. They lost.
The men were
perfect
reluctant to leave the 4-day festival, so
But you
police
got it.
escorted them home with the help of a taxi and a patrol car.
I wish the stories intertwined and they took the fucking
Right.
the Uber with the horse.
Former President Barack Obama and Vice President Joe Biden were spotted dining out at a Washington, D.C. cafe, rekindling their Oval Office bromance over sandwiches and fennel salad. But there's also word of another meeting between the two former running mates in which they team up to, checks notes, solve some murder.
What the fuck?
Its dark, mysterious arrival of the former best friend, Schaefer says, and the book is really about two. Oh, it's a book.
Oh,
It's a book. It's
okay.
called Hope Never Dies. We need to get this and read it.
Can we do a book club segment on this
Yes.
podcast?
We need-
I've been-
Because
I've been
will
wanting
go
to for a
in.
long time.
I will go in on
Should
the
we
podcast.
start with the
hold on.
Bill Clinton
Hold
book
on.
that he wrote with
Let's-
James Patterson?
Yeah,
Let's
I
take
wanna
a look
write-
at
I wanna read that
let's
so
take a
bad.
look at the cover art.
Oh my god! I'm so fucking ready.
I feel it's gonna be so bad, but I still want
I'm
to read
so
it.
fucking.
Um,
and if it's better than Chuck Tingle books, I swear to God.
If you at home don't want to bother looking it up, I will describe it to you. Joe Biden is driving a Smokey and the Bandit-esque T-Bird.
I could just put the picture up.
We know you're not going to do that.
Obviously, you didn't catch what I did on the podcast a couple weeks ago when I told you I added an edit and you never found it, so you don't win the prize.
Oh, okay. Well, then
If
I'll-
you
The prize has
remember-
been lost.
If you remember when we talk about the famed Juggerduck,
Oh,
when we
Oh,
talk
the
about that, I
Juggerduck.
show a picture of Juggerduck to
all
the
right.
audience.
All right. Well, then I'll send you the picture, and you can
I can
edit
find
this
it.
in. All right. You can. Okay.
Or you can send me the picture, either way.
No, it's okay. You do the work then.
All right, man.
Uh,
So that means me and Aaron were correct?
yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rip.
Catholicism.
Yeah.
It all came down to making the Baker Street pun, because otherwise I would have locked in that one, but I was like, Bakery, Baker Street. Sherlock Holmes.
Hope never dies. Jesus Christ! I cannot wait to read that.
All right,
Classic.
for the final
Are
segment,
they actually writing it?
Rob, if you could please
No.
return to this seat, since you know that at least the headline of what I'm going to do, and I don't want to reveal the story to Jake or Aaron.
Okay. Chinese fire.
Another-
Oh God, my knee popped.
Another famous, actually, hold on.
How did this end up over here?
Because I keep passing it between me and Mike.
It's true. All right, so another famous segment we do to end all the podcasts is a segment called
Podcast.
Stupid Podcast.
Podcast.
Podcast is the stupidest thing I've heard in a while or this week, depending on what I say.
Fair point.
Where I find a stupid thing, 90% of the time it comes from comics, because
You know,
comics has a lot of stupid
It's
shit.
sad, but I've completely forgotten.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet when I start teasing it, you'll get it.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I lost the video for a second. Let's see if it comes back. I assume it's still recording the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we back?
Not yet. That's still not.
No, Jake, don't pull on it. This is
I-
supposed to.
I know.
This isn't your job, Jake.
Get a job like the reference to.
Yeah. That was the. Don't pull on it. See, right now the camera's dark, but they're still getting audio, so this is just some kind of.
Don't pull on it, bro. Don't yank on me. Don't marsh
Don't
my
at me, bro.
mellow. Don't marsh my mellow.
Like, where's the connector?
Right there.
Unplug it and plug it back together.
Unplug it and
Yep.
plug it? Okay. What we need is 1.21 gigawatts.
It did come on for a little bit.
Did it? Okay, we're back. We're
We're
back.
back. Hey.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay,
Must be the
so
money.
Nice reference.
Back in my corner. Why wasn't I sitting like this? This is so much more.
So what? I don't fucking know. You could have also put the laptop on your lap at that point, but you were.
Oh, hold on,
Um,
Mike. I'll just pull this down so I can't read.
All right, that'll work too. So what we do in this segment is I find a stupid thing normally from comics, and then I lay it out in a way that's humorous
Okay.
because it's a stupid thing, and you gotta try to figure out what it is.
Much
So
like the
when-
Juggerduck.
Okay.
That was.
The Juggerduck is probably our biggest reveal. I was happy last week when I didn't think I had a big reveal, but your just mind when I said Deadpool was like, no, and I was like, great. So how am I going to do? I don't prepare this part,
Okay.
but now I need to decide how I'm going to phrase this.
I don't know. Superman being allergic to prayer was also pretty good too.
That was
Yeah.
that was just fucking stupid. I think that would have been a great one if I would have done it like I did now, where that one I just kind of like said it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's from comics. I'll just start off there.
Okay.
As most stupid things are. It's from DC Comics, even. I'll give you that heads up.
All right.
So DC Comics.
We need to go back and make a tally of where it came from.
Almost 90% of the time it's from comics.
It's coming from
75%
DC.
of the time it's coming from DC Comics. Maybe 80% of the time.
Yeah.
So there's many futures that can happen in DC Comics.
Okay.
Some are good and some are bad. A thing that's happening in
And
comics.
some are dumb.
Most are dumb. Apparently, in current DC Comics, the future leads to like a mass extinction in like the next month.
Mm-hmm.
There is one person who knows about this apocalypse and is trying his best to stop it. And it turns out that in the future, this character is praised, as a sort of god, a messiah of sorts, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you could think of any character that would like just do his damnedest, just do his best to try to save the DC universe, what kind of characters would you think of?
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate, he likes to get involved in a lot of shit.
Out of the DC universe,
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
you got like the big ones. You got your Batman.
So you're
good
saying,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
they look like characters that would eventually become like a messiah, like in
That
the
would
future.
eventually, well, Batman, with all of his fucking worldly knowledge, he'd probably be able
Yeah,
to
he had Batman Incorporated for a little bit.
work with something along those lines. You have your Superman or whatever on top of that.
Yeah, that's Superman.
That's a good one right there.
Superman's a good character. He can be considered a messiah, right?
Okay. What are the
But what if I told you like it wasn't Superman, but like kind of opposite of Superman?
Bizarro?
Like I wouldn't say
Like
like
Bizarro
That
Superman?
was a pretty logical leap for him to
not
make.
like
Actually.
not like physical opposite, but more like
Doomsday?
like if you had Superman like
that would
like
be
in everything
so much-
Superman stands for, like the betterment of humanity and everyone uniting together
Lex
to help
Luthor?
something.
Okay.
What if you had like the exact opposite of that theologically?
All right.
You'd
So
have
you
Lex
have
Luthor.
you'd pretty much have
Like Lex Luthor? Is that
Yeah,
what
you'd
you're
have
talking?
Lex Luthor.
like a Lex Luthor or Brainiac.
A
even?
Lex Luthor, someone that's like
a Brainiac or
obsessed
even
with
something
personal
like that?
growth and like just being able to take over for yourself.
Yeah.
So what if I were to tell you that a million years in the future, where there is still a future in the DC universe, that one Lex Luthor is praised as a messiah,
What the fuck?
and that his ways are basically what have led to Earth's society becoming the way it has. What if I told you that they live by his models of personal growth and of conquering, to where the remnants of humanity have banded together and have taken over the rest of the universe
I can see Jesse Eisenberg doing this.
by,
Right.
leading behind Lex Luthor's ideals? That'd be pretty fucking stupid, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Now, what if I then told you,
Isn't his whole ideals about like personal greed and shit like
yeah,
that?
and then doing the best for yourself and humanity doing it all on their own and not needing anyone else? Now, what if I told you that this same Lex Luthor, who's very egotistical and
Yeah.
a maniac, went to this future and was fucking pissed?
He made me a god.
What if I told you that he was like, oh man, I'm pissed? You would be like, oh man, how could this happen?
Why would you be pissed that you're a fucking god?
Well, because it's all about the great tragedy. Now, what to Lex Luthor do you think would be the great tragedy that would really piss him the fuck off?
Him having everything and losing it all.
Socialist America.
Good guess, but no.
Losing the Superman?
No, in
guess.
fact, this future does exist, and Lex Luthor's pissed off because the great tragedy, as the futuristic society of people worsening, I think the name of the city is like Lexington or something like that.
Lexington.
Not Lexington.
Kentucky. Kentucky's the
Lutherville.
It's Lutheran philosophy. Is the name of the religion. A way of living they call doom, is what's led up. I can try and find the name of the city, but it's something play on Lex Luthor's name.
Mm-hmm.
But the great tragedy they describe is the fact that Lex Luthor was never appreciated in his age. So like Lex Luthor never got to see this future. The great tragedy that pisses him off is the fact that all this shit happens,
when he's
but
dead.
what the fuck does it matter if it happens a million years after you're dead? It's basically what he's deciding right now.
I mean, fair point that you never get to see your kingdom delivered to you, but I
The-
mean,
the
that's
exact-
very,
Yeah.
For
What the fuck?
this new Lex Luthor who's been working with the Justice League, who's been
Is he
uniting
a part of the
uniting
Justice League?
yes he is uniting the heroes and villains to defeat bigger threats.
Oh, Darkseid is part of the Justice League too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Throwing it back a few weeks to it.
His exact quote is, "What is the point of being right if nobody realizes it for a million years after you die?" He's a fucking asshole.
That's pretty fucking true though.
But do you figure Picasso would feel the same way? Or Van Gogh, any of those artists who didn't really blow up until after they were dead? Do you figure they'd feel the same way?
Van Gogh was like Van Gogh or even Poe. Like take both of those incredibly depressive, poor, like isolated people, and none of their works blew up until after they were dead.
I can see.
There's even episodes on fucking Doctor Who where they go back and show Van Gogh in the Louvre. Like,
are you going to act like I don't watch Doctor Who right now?
That's what I mean. No, I know you know watching Doctor Who because that's why I pointed to you.
Right.
Never watched a single episode.
You should.
It depends on what era you're watching it and what Doctor, but they are good.
The Tennant era is great.
Tennant era,
Smith
Matt
era is
Smith.
hit or miss.
I've been intimidated because I feel
I actually really like.
There's so much.
I
shit
really
to
like the
delve
Christopher
into.
Eccleston stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like if I haven't watched all of it, I'm not gonna get any of it. You know what I mean?
That's not necessarily
Like the
true.
whole Bad Wolf through line, like in the Christopher Eccleston season, I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you pretty much the old
What-
stuff.
go
What is
watch-
it like? Eight and under is the classics, right? Or not 7 and under.
Because I mean, I'd be down to watch.
It's technically 9, but he's 8.
I'd love to jump into David
Or whatever,
Tennant
how it
and all
works,
that
'cause of the
as
War
a
Doctor.
doctor, 'cause I
Jump into
love
what
David
Matt
Tennant.
Smith was the earliest New Age.
No,
right?
Christopher Eccleston was the earliest. Then
Jump-
Tennant took over.
Jump into Christopher Eccleston era. And then
What I
start
would
from
do
there.
is start with what's the name of that fucking episode? Blink. If you don't like that, you're not gonna like Doctor Who.
Okay.
If you like that, then jump into Christopher Eccleston.
It's a different type of sci-fi. Yeah.
But yeah,
Is it anything like what was that show? Shift.
I've never seen Shift.
I have no clue what that is.
That was the one where every 24 hours they shift, like quantum jump
No.
to a different.
No.
No, think JoJo's Bizarre Adventure with time travel.
Oh well,
like
fuck that.
It's not that crazy. It's a lot of like.
By that do you mean like they do in
It's-
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure where they jump into each episode mid-conflict?
not
Sometimes.
mid-conflict, but they're doing shit.
Because that
Each
drives me
I mean,
fucking
Each
sometimes
episode
it's
necessarily
mid-conflict.
each episode necessarily could be its own little episode unless it's a continuation episode.
Yeah,
or
there are
something.
some that are like part 1s, part 2s, but you know that they're part 1s, part 2s.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't have a problem with that as long as the overarching.
but there is a
story
cohesive
still-
story
okay.
to it, but it's still like they're going on adventures to go fucking fix time pretty much.
I got you. I got
Yeah.
you.
But sometimes it's all like out
So
of
more
time
like
and shit.
more like Legends.
Like the
of,
whole like river song.
more like Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Except they don't resolve every episode with using all their powers at the end. It's normally like solved like using your brain.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Actually,
If all of a
interesting
sudden-
stuff.
If all of a sudden Doctor Who sprouts goddamn wings and picks up a maze.
That'd be entertaining.
That'd be pretty fucking tight, though. Real fucking tight.
I'd pitch that to him. But yeah, the fact that there's a Lex Luthor religion in the future, and Lex Luthor's still not fucking happy, even though he's in this future physically. That's the dumbest thing I've heard in a while.
I've got one thing to touch on. We know Sony's doing this Venom spin-off movie, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting that they're doing a well.
They're making a Craven movie without Spider-Man. Is that what you're guys?
Yeah.
Wow, how could I jump there right away? Because I'll tell you why. Because that was almost. I was thinking, I was like, how can you have Craven without him hunting Spider-Man? That's his whole.
Yeah.
That would be so fucking stupid. But that's everything I got. Does anyone else have anything that they want to talk about in the podcast before we get to our closing and whatnots? Jake?
Spay and neuter your pets.
The dumb.
Check out these nuts.
Watch your tire.
Also, go check out the band titled.
Watch your tire pressure and don't fill up on your gas until you're almost empty. I don't fucking know. Who knows?
Why would you do that?
There's a solids at the bottom. You can kick it up.
I mean, that's what I do, but I do that because I'm a broke ass bitch.
That's primarily what. That's primarily, but it's supposed to be solids at the end of your gas tank. Kicks up.
If the gloves don't fit, you must have quit.
Wow, you are just on a fucking.
Hey. I'm just saying, if he'd actually done it, then why would he write a book calling If He Did It? It would have been titled, I Did It, Here's How.
Exactly.
If he'd actually done it, he wouldn't have given an entire interview first person about how he would have. You're right.
See? No, it's funny.
I remember that night like any other night. No, like, listen, you fucking did it.
So you know that show Trial and Error that's on? It's like a stupid law show. Like the first season had John Lithgow. Like he was accused of murder.
I haven't watched it.
It's like an Office-esque law comedy. It's very funny.
Yeah.
It's very weird. Like it's like in a small town with like a bunch of like random laws. Like
Ooh.
like there's a law where like there's like they're pro women, where like women can't be the judge on another woman's trial. And I was like, and also women can drive as long as they have a male in front of them waving red flags. So it has like dumb stuff like that. But in the first season, John Lithgow was the guy on trial, and then they found out that like the bird killed him. But then the second season, he's not in it. But they talk about like how they still call him the murderer, or how he got away with that murder. And then you see that he has a book out that says, "If I Did It, Owl Edition."
If I did it,
That's
Owl
gold.
Edition. God damn.
That is gold.
Yes, that's all we got. Rob, go ahead and
Be good.
Jake, say goodbye to the people.
Take care.
Aaron,
Cheese, we appreciate you.
what the fuck was that? Like, literally, I just want to know, what the fuck was that before I go? This is why you don't improv. Just leave it to the professionals. And football's the only sport.